someone has actually made MovieBob or Nazi, and you get quotes to choose whether or not it was MovieBob or Nazi. And the first one is, "I'll never forgive the troglodytes who stole the future I earned to prolong their worthless existence." Was that MovieBob or a Nazi?
That's MovieBob. That one's MovieBob. I remember that tweet. That's one of the tweets that kind of gets.
Well, that's the thing. I don't remember it, and for a second there I was like, that could be either of them. I don't know.
Right. Although it's like the dead giveaway is the word troglodytes. I can't imagine.
I thought troglodytes as a word has been used forever. Like that's.
I thought. Well, it's attributed to D&D though, isn't it? Like some kind of board, like tabletop sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good word.
It's a nerd thing. So yeah. Because of troglodytes was said by Hitler, I think like a lot of people would actually have like, they'd pull back when they'd hear the word more.
Yeah, well, I'll put that in for maybe like just before a meme section sometime.
Yeah.
But
is there a few entries in there? Like
there's a lot.
Oh, really?
There are times when I really hate that Jim Crow era laws ruined the idea of intelligence testing for voting. See, I assume that's because Jim Crow was after Nazis. Well, I mean, the question is, what are is it like Hitler quotes or just random Nazi quotes? Because oh, look at this one. There are no bad tactics, only bad targets. That's MovieBob.
Yeah, you should say
God,
that.
what an awful quote to have attributed to yourself.
Like there are literally things that Hitler, like the Germans would do things to the communists that they would not do to like the Allies, the Americans and stuff. So I mean, in that sense, Hitler's actually more moral than MovieBob. Like the Germans and the Russians in World War II, they had exploding ammunition. So like rifle rounds that would, when they hit, they would explode.
Also, I don't think they are all MovieBob.
Against the Allies.
I just read the ones that I did recognize that are so fucking controversial and yet are MovieBob. But yeah, we'll try and check that out at some point. That looks like fun.
I know more controversial MovieBob quotes than controversial Hitler quotes.
How should we do this? So the idea is you choose it's a MovieBob quote or not, like a Nazi quote, and should it be like a vote between the all of us here, like? Or should me and Rags not even necessarily be involved in it because we know a lot of them? I don't know.
Okay. If you already know them, then you shouldn't say anything.
If we know it, we can just excuse ourselves from the.
You hiccup at me.
Shut the fuck up.
Called MovieBob or Nazi/Neo-Nazi 4.0, the finale. This quiz was made for the EFAP podcast, so if you do not watch it, most of the jokes will not make sense. However, the quiz is still fully functional as a demonstration of how insane MovieBob is. I'm sorry not giving sources for these quotes because I only thought about doing it halfway through making the quiz. However, all of the MovieBob quotes are sourced from his Twitter. The Nazi quotes have primarily been sourced from Mein Kampf and the Daily Stormer. Hi, Wags.
Okay, that's the place to get them.
Hello, all my N-words. This quiz will test the limits of your massive intelligence. Even the great spider oracles had trouble divining the correct answers. Wow, it's really hard to tell the difference between these quotes, Adolf Hitler. I plan on making a condensed quiz based on the best questions from this quiz. Once I get around to 200 and 300 responses, I would make the condensed quiz at that point. We can just do this one. So these are instructions, I guess. The way this quiz works is you'll be given a quote. You have to decide if it is a Nazi quote or a MovieBob quote. You have to do this for a total of 100 quotes. The Nazi quotes could be from any Nazi, from the original funny mustache man himself, or the edgy book to whatever tism stuff I could find on Richard Spencer's Twitter. Also, I removed some of the words that make it obvious who the quote is from. I will censor the obvious word by putting theme in the censored word's place. Some examples of these potential words would be Jew, Germany, or Nazi. Additionally, I had to fix the grammar of MovieBob's quotes. If I didn't, you could just choose the quotes that were crimes against the English language and get all the correct answers. Finally, I updated some of the language in the Hitler quotes because they use words that no one uses anymore. With the instructions out of the way, Please enjoy this quiz brought to you by Adam Hilt. Also, Mola, after you take the quiz, I can send you the statistics for the quiz on Discord. Sure, it'd be interesting to know.
I recognize him from Twitter.
I'm not gonna lie, MovieBob looks more like a war criminal than Hitler. Who did eugenics better? Drill Sergeant Bobby is gonna chew out the new recruits. Alright, so I guess the way I'll do this then is I read out the quote, and then a vote takes place, and I guess we'll make it Jay does bullshit and Mel can vote on it, and
Okay.
like I said, me and Rags will probably only come in if we actually do not know. We can let people know ahead of time. So
Also, if you don't know the quote, it might be a good indicator. I'm not read my.
actually, the problem is the first one. I think everyone
If you
knows
don't
this
know the
one.
quote, it might be an indicator that it's a Nazi one. So what's the first one?
The first one is, "I'll never forgive the troglodytes who stole the future I earned to prolong their worthless existence."
Yeah, I remember that one. That's definitely Bob.
All right,
That's
we all know
Bob.
it's Bob.
That's Bob.
Okay.
Plus, Hitler never used the term troglodyte anyway. So.
Yeah, but they said they updated the language.
Maybe they did. You don't know.
Hitler didn't say it. He spoke German.
All right. Quote 2. I think that human beings, if you talk about our differences in terms of talent or intelligence or any other area, that doesn't necessarily make an individual human being inferior or a race inferior.
Uh-oh, that one's harder.
We're gonna hear
That's
that again.
harder, yeah.
I will
Okay,
post them to you guys so you can read them as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Nazi.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nazi on that one.
Well, I'm gonna
I'm here. What one?
the one I just posted in
It doesn't sound
chat.
like something Bob would say, but it doesn't sound like something a Nazi would say either. Surely Nazis think a race is inferior. That's like their whole deal.
Mhm.
What say that? Say I think the human beings. Let me see. I think that's MovieBob. I think
No,
I
because-
think
no.
this is what MovieBob would say right before a big but.
No. I think this is a Nazi because they're operating from. It sounds like they're operating from a perspective where you would expect a race to be inferior. They're saying, no, I don't necessarily think a race is inferior. I just don't like the people,
think I was
all
like
of the people
your
of that race.
I actually think I read that quote before, and I think it's from Hitler himself.
You see,
Well, I'm going to abstain from the entire quiz because I'm enjoying just being the one who reads them out. We'll do it by votes, and if there's a tie, I'll
think
be
that
the
you should
decider.
vote. I think it's kind of expected of you that you participate in this.
Well, I can reveal my
he
vote at
already
the end
knows
of
the
each
answers.
one. No, I don't.
Oh, he does.
No, I don't. But
Mahler does.
I was actually stuck on this one until Metal said what he said, so I'm assuming it's a Hitler quote now.
I mean, don't quote me on that. I think I did.
Don't quote you on the
yeah.
quote. I'm quoting you.
I don't know Mein
Fine,
Kampf by heart.
fine,
if you
fine.
mean that.
I would go with Nazi because I actually don't know the origin for this one for sure. What about everyone else?
Right.
Nazi.
Yeah, it's Nazi for sure.
Well, that's 3, so that's good enough.
Okay.
All American politics of my lifetime have been about backwards people wedded to an inferior present, trying to prevent a superior future. I'm almost certain this is Bob.
Bob.
Yeah,
So wait a
that's
minute, wait a
super
minute.
Bobby.
Do we not do we not get the answer to that last one?
Not yet. No, you have to answer them all first.
Okay. So that third one. Let me read that one more time. I think a human being. Wait. Can you post that other one? The third one.
Wait, sorry. You want to?
Third, the one you just read. Could you post that?
Well, I'm starting to... Maybe we should do this to make it more interesting. You should actually go with your gut so we can get through it quickly and we'll see how funny the answers turn out to be. So the more you think about it, the more it should become clear.
Okay, so read that one more time then.
It's in chat.
All American
There.
politics of my lifetime have been about backwards people wedded to an inferior present trying to prevent a superior future. I am so very, very tired of being denied a better world because of the small visions and smaller minds affecting so much of humanity.
That's
So-
like.
Yeah, that's definitely
honestly,
Bob.
yeah, my vote is MovieBob, but it's such a a Nazi could totally say it.
Yeah, but it's totally Bob.
But like, no, I don't. It's because it's about America as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
could
think
actually
I
see
think that's Bob.
If it said German, then I'd be like, Oh, but it didn't. Wait, to be fair, didn't he say that he was getting some Richard Spencer and people?
Yeah, okay, so this is why it's interesting.
Shit.
But we're locked in, all right? If we were wrong about that,
I'm
we're
still
wrong.
going with Bob.
Spencer.
I can't go back. It's Bob.
Absolutely be Richard Spencer.
Code 4. Instruction in world history in the so-called high schools is even today in a very sorry condition. Few teachers understand that the study of history can never be to learn historical dates and events by heart, that what matters is not whether the child knows exactly when this battle or that was fought, when a general was born, or even when a monarch was coronated. To learn history means to seek and find the forces which are the causes leading to the effects which we subsequently perceive as historical events.
Nazi.
Yeah, that's a Nazi.
That's too eloquent for Bob.
I was gonna say
That's
I'm
way
voting for the
too
Nazi
eloquent and
because
not as venomous
like-
sounding as Bob.
Like that's like a pretty smart thing, and it's the kind of thing that where like being a Nazi wouldn't inform your perspective like that.
yeah, I just don't think Bob would have been able to say it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's also too much punctuation. That's not Bob.
Sophistic Autistic wants me to tell you, Jay, that your comment's been deleted on the objectivity video. I'm assuming it's just not visible. We can't know for sure it's been deleted, but maybe.
Oh my god, my comment. You know what my comment was? It was literally just, I don't think this video is very good. Deleted that.
Wow, deleted.
Deleted that.
Wow,
Holy
what
shit,
a faggot.
man.
What a little thin-skinned bitch.
Yeah. mhm.
That's racist. You can't say that about thin-skinned bitches. At some point, you have to choose to be a party to meaningful societal evolution and accept that not everyone is going to follow you into the future. Some will choose to remain backward and left behind.
Bob.
That's Bob.
I was going to say I'm leaning to Bob. All right.
Mhm.
When intelligent members of society become unable to overrule the ignorant, society falls.
That's Bob.
Bob.
I'm willing to go either way on that one. It's definitely in line with Bob, but
Then again, there was a little far
Can you put
too
it in the chat?
few words in that.
Can you paste it in the chat?
No, just go with the gut feeling. We have like.
Well, yeah, I was gonna
19
say
more to
we
go.
gotta keep it going, otherwise.
Oh, we got quite a few to go. Nice. All right. Yeah. So I'm sticking with Bob.
Oh, I think that's Bob, yeah. It's quite eloquent for him, though.
All right, I think that's enough votes for Bob. Then is it?
Mhm.
All right. There is forward and there is backward, superior future and inferior past, the evolved and the intelligent versus the ignorant and small-minded.
That's him. I
See,
don't know.
it's like I thought it was
Oh,
Nazi
man.
at first, but then he started using small-minded, and I'm like, okay, that sounds awfully Bob right there. I'm a little torn on this one.
I think I would go with Bob, but I think we started to reveal the point of why this was made.
Uh-oh, now we're starting to
Yeah.
think about this shit.
As a Nazi.
All right, I'm gonna go with Bob. What have you three
Okay.
Gotta hurry.
I'm gonna go with Nazi.
got? Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm going with Bob.
Jay, it's down to you.
Bob.
All right. There are times when I really hate that Jim Crow era laws ruined the idea of intelligence testing for voting.
Oh,
Okay,
Bob.
that's Bob.
Bob.
That's Bob.
We must
I'm
become...
stupid. I don't know what Jim Crow era laws are, so I'll just. Go
I
with
almost
guys.
think I've read that tweet from him.
It's
I
old
think.
race laws in the U.S. Old ones.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We must become revolutionaries. We must bypass or shatter existing institutions and make them anew. The sellouts who can constitute the old elite must be removed forever. We must constitute a new elite. A daunting goal, perhaps, but the only
Nazi.
goal that makes sense.
That's a Nazi.
I'm going with Nazi, yeah. Sounds too good to be Bob. Like the way it's written.
Yeah.
This is
Like,
more.
I think I'll
again,
go with that too.
So much
Yeah.
more of this is grammar rather than content.
yeah. Again, there's just too much punctuation for there to be Bob.
What does that tell you? Bob, you need to... This shouldn't be a possibility that we're doing this right now.
It's like it's not as damning as it could be because so far they've all just been. Hang on, we need to like reorganize society. Like, yeah, some of them are kind of bad, but
I don't know,
Like,
I
it
think
could
some
be
of them are pretty
worse.
bad.
some of them are pretty bad. But like,
Yeah.
it's not as damning as it could be when you hear the phrase, did he say this or did a Nazi say it? Like, you could get a lot worse.
Ask them to defend themselves, give them that opportunity. They will give you nothing because they have nothing. These are the faces of evil.
No.
That's
Oh, that's
Nazis.
so hard.
I'm aiming to
That one's
Nazi.
tough.
That's
That
really
one's
tough.
Wow,
That
think
one's
it's Bob.
tough.
It is tough, but
It's too eloquent. It's a Nazi.
It's
oh,
got to be a
that's
Nazi.
4 votes for Nazi. Okay.
Yeah, we can go with Nazi on that one.
I don't see any moral difference between a suicide bomber and somebody in an F-16 fighter jet who fires a missile into an apartment complex and then kills 10 to 15 little girls and boys. I don't
Okay,
see...
so because F-16s weren't around during the
Yeah.
No. Rags. Some of them were Richard Spencer quotes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Probably Bob.
I don't see much difference there. In fact, I think the pilot is a greater offender. He's getting medals while the suicide bomber is sacrificing his life for what he believes in.
Oh God.
Oh no, that's suspiciously
Probably
close.
Bob. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
You know what? I'm willing to be wrong on this. I'm actually going to go with Nazi, but I could
First time I
understand.
was like, that's like first time I was like, I mean, I
That-
yeah, that
being
sounds like
offended by it,
something
I get,
Richard
but-
Spencer would say.
The crazy thing is that I feel like that slots in perfectly with what I've seen from Bob before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
going
could
with
be
the gut.
both.
Going with the gut. Going with Bob.
I think it's
All
I
right,
think it's
we'll
a
go with
Nazi.
Bob on that one.
Okay.
Well, I voted Nazi, so what's Jay and Metal going with?
I'm Nazi.
No.
Well, because I'm
Metal-
on the fence. I thought you guys were all going Bob because I think that's definitely something Richard Spencer.
Nazi then?
Well, if...
It's
Uh,
it's 50-50. Like,
Do we gotta flip a coin?
No, it's not 50. If,
Oh,
if
no,
Rags
'cause there's an odd
abstains,
number of
we've
us.
got two for Nazi,
I'm
one for
going
Bob so
Nazi.
far. Oh, you're going Nazi, okay.
I'm saying for me,
Yeah.
it's like 50-50 for me. Like I have no fucking going. with-
Yeah,
Wow,
I could be
so
wrong on this. So it's still down to Metal then.
Nazi. I just
Alright.
don't know. Just say Nazi.
Here's
So
something...
so we're going with Nazi then, huh?
here's
No,
something...
I think it's Bob. But whatever.
Really? Shit. It's a hard one.
Wait, so...
I feel like I feel like a Nazi is less like people in the Middle East getting killed than Bob is.
Why? Who do you think the Muslims sided with in the 40s?
No, this is modern day Rags.
It could be a Nazi or Richard Spencer,
Yeah, I think it's Bob.
and I think Richard Spencer is very much a non-interventionist type.
Wait, are we... So what is the final vote on that then?
Do we flip a coin?
No,
there's
well,
an
we
odd
don't need
number
to.
list. I said Bob.
I
So-
said Nazi.
Nazi...
I said Bob.
What did I say? I think I said
I don't
Bob,
know.
but no.
I think you said Nazi.
Okay.
Actually.
If I said Nazi, you said... Yeah, so we got 3 Nazis at least, right? So that's Nazi. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm just trying to move
Go with
on.
Nazi. I'm curious to see how that one turns out.
Here's something you should know about me. I believe that there is almost no such thing as a bad tactic, only bad targets. I know who said that.
That was Bob.
Sounds like Bob.
It's pretty Bob. Going with Bob.
Once we stop rejecting the basic truths of the universe and instead reject theme... Oh, our civilization will be 100 times more efficient. Once we rid ourselves of theme, the stars will not be far outside our grasp.
So that could be the words there could be Republicans. So I think it's
Nazi.
Republicans and it was Bob.
He said that the words that would give away who said it are replaced with theme, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it was like Jews, then obviously it would be a Nazi. And if it was like
I don't know. How does Bob feel about the Jews?
We don't... I'm gonna go with Nazi on this one. What do you guys
I think
reckon?
Bob.
Two.
Yeah. Pretty Nazi. I'm gonna go with Nazi.
Sorry, what were the other votes?
I said Bob, but there were 3 Nazis there, so
Oh, okay.
So we got Nazi.
It's possible to see that this is the world and to be angry about it, and to reject false compromise with the other side, without also not recognizing the various complexities and nuances within movements and communities they condemn.
Bob.
Nazi. No, it acknowledges nuance. Nazi.
What?
Well,
Bob wouldn't acknowledge nuance.
Bob wouldn't acknowledge nuance.
well, the thing, like, did you hear? There was not a period in sight in that. That's such a Bob thing to
it could be
do.
like a modern thing. I think it's
say
someone. I think it's a neo-Nazi going. People don't understand that there's nuance in my belief. Where?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Nazi, I think.
Whereas I don't think Bob believes in nuance.
There's only
Genuinely, I
Bob.
don't think he believes in.
Wait, what are
Wait.
other votes?
Bob.
Oh,
Yeah, I went with Bob.
2 Bobs, 1
Nazi.
Nazi. 2 Oh, Rags, you're the decider.
Let's do Bob on that one.
All right.
No, you fool.
You
People who have no understanding of the political world around them have no right to criticize or complain about our superior future.
That sounds like Bob.
That sounds like Bob.
Um,
And I'm pretty sure we remember him saying
Bob
that
was
at
always
one
really
point.
defeatist about the future.
yeah,
Well,
he's-
I think
this,
what
this,
is
that's the
gonna
one thing
start?
that stops me on that one, is that wouldn't he be like, well, I guess he could be saying it even if they were ruining that superior future.
I could have sworn I
No, I
seen
think-
Bob
I think
tweet
that's
that
Nazi.
too. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's Bob then.
But no, don't take my word for it. I wasn't entirely sure about that.
Well,
Just
that does strike me as
I'm gonna go
evidence.
with Bob because I don't think the Nazis would start off kind of soft and understanding like that.
I mean,
Bob
we've
is
got
kinda
enough
like
votes
he
for
wants
Bob, so
to-
we'll just keep going. History
Bob
likes to
is
forget that
understanding.
theme often grow to assault true progress when the backward and mediocre feel left out of it.
I think I'm starting to see the word that he's using to replace some of the obvious tells.
Well, yeah, he said it was going to be theme.
Yeah,
So it's
So
one of the rules, idiot. God.
yeah,
wasn't paying
That's
attention. Trump.
History likes to forget that theme often grow to assault true progress when the backward and mediocre fell left out of it. I don't know. What was that one else
no
called?
idea.
Bob
Uh,
or a Nazi.
not Nazi. I say Nazi. Let's go with a random one because I don't know.
Okay. What? One
You
more
just flip
time.
a coin.
I'm sorry.
History likes to
No.
forget that theme often grow to assault true progress when the backward and mediocre feel left out of it.
Okay, going with Nazi on that one.
Yeah, okay. I think, don't tell me to buy inferior products or hire less capable or qualified workers to artificially inflate a semblance of performance. Nobody works
What?
for him, right, MovieBob?
I think he's works
Oh,
alone.
imagine him being your boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nazi
Oh my
immediately based
God.
on the fact that
Yeah.
the potential of hiring workers.
Clean the folds of my balls.
Do you want to work for the big
Yeah.
picture?
The American president
There's a
increasingly
dead
used
pigeon in there.
his influence to create conflicts, intensify existing conflicts, and above all, to keep conflicts from being resolved peacefully. For years, this man looked for a conflict anywhere in the world, but preferably in theme that he could use to create political entanglements with American economic obligations to one of the contending sides, which would then steadily involve America in the conflict and thus divert attention from his own confused domestic economic policies.
Yeah, that's way too eloquent. That's Nazi.
I'm going to go with Nazi.
Gonna go with Nazi on that one. It also
Yeah.
seems longer than that also seems longer than a tweet. So
You can put it in
Movie
multiple
Bob
tweets.
Movie Bob doesn't talk for long.
There needs to be
I
a...
could see him saying that in like the fast voice.
My god. There needs to be a separate category of biology distinguishing theme from properly evolved human beings.
Nazi.
that's Bob.
Bob.
Uh-oh.
I would actually go with Bob first, just because I assume theme could be Republicans there.
Yeah,
Bob.
that's absolutely Republicans. That's 100% Bob. That's Bob.
This is fun.
My dream solution, all the good theme remove themselves from the fray. Let the failed husk collapse in on itself, deprived of all worthy intellects.
That's Bob.
I can't believe I'm
He likes to say intellect, so I'll go with Bob.
I think that's
Yeah.
Bob,
Worthy
yeah.
and
Really
intellect.
prides
He
himself
sounds
on
like
his
a
intellect.
fucking dictator.
You see, if Bob saw this right, you know what he would think? He'd think, well, yeah, you're removing the word that makes it good or bad. Obviously, it's better to hate Republicans than Jews. They're not people.
Exactly.
Jews are people.
When I say vast swaths of humanity are beneath contempt, I
Yeah, for
speak
the record,
from knowledge.
It is probably better to hate Republicans than Jews, but like, don't be like that to anyone.
Yeah. Let's don't follow Bob's
I was like,
example.
yeah, don't be either, but
At least with Republicans, it's based on values rather than something they can't control. But like, hating on based on values is better.
well, you
than
don't have to be a
hating based on
Jew,
race.
right?
What?
You can.
No,
You can.
racially, the Nazis hated people who were like ethnically Jewish, not religiously Jewish.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Hmm.
the interesting part is just that
I think they
The-
weren't big on the religion either, to be fair.
statements being extrapolated but then removed of the target, and for some reason it just seems okay. It's like, wipe
Like,
out
every time-
this
every time
selection.
Every time I look at chat, I only see Bob, 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 Bob. Every question.
like, thinking about it, the Nazis weren't so bad compared to Bob.
When I say
At least the Nazis are ruling. Listen.
When I say vast swaths of humanity are beneath contempt, I speak from knowledge, and some of you dare to give me the side-eye for calling these themes less than human.
Oh fuck!
Gonna
that
go
was
with
hard.
Bob.
That could be Bob again.
I think it's quite
Yeah, that's
eloquent.
Bob.
I think it's a bit eloquent for
That's
Bob.
Bob
though.
complaining out on Twitter.
Yeah,
tweet-
he's probably
it's-
complaining about Republicans again. You know.
No, actually, yeah, it's probably Bob.
I would put my
The thing making
safety
me
on
think
Bob.
it's not Bob is not like the content.
This nation cannot continue letting its future direction be decided by a minority of its least intelligent, most backward-looking people. Most backward-looking people?
Oh my god! No, I think he's
Bob.
back. Like they look backwards in history or something.
Oh, okay, they're looking
Well,
back.
Not they look ugly or something.
I see. So probably Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be Bob. I'm
The entire chat is literally just Bob.
You know, it's like that's kind of this thing I'm noticing. You notice like there's a lot of venom in certain words, and that's more Bob than Nazi.
I'm happy to go with Bob. Everyone else?
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
Watch
There
the twist be
is-
them all Bob.
There is, for example, the question of how we came to the preposterous state of affairs prevailing today, wherein we place the destiny of our Okay, this isn't Bob. Like, I already don't believe that Bob would
So
write
wait,
this.
finish that up.
I mean, it's pretty big, but I already believe from the way that opening was written that it's not Bob.
It does sound pretty Nazi. So
I did not see that coming.
All right.
They're saying wherein destiny of our nations. Yeah, it's Nazi.
I'm going with Nazi.
Mhm.
Theme is the only way forward for genuine human and technological process. The alternative is the cave.
Bob.
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 I want to say
Yeah.
that's Bob as well.
See, this
I
is what
think
happened.
too.
This is
It's
is
like
such
it
a
was
profile.
sounding Nazi, and then we went to the cave, and
This
it's
is what happens when this is what happens when you let just like your hatred of a group define your worldview. Like you
Mhm.
blame all problems on group.
Yeah,
But they both do that.
yeah.
That's the point.
Which is
That's what
kinda
that's the point I'm
sick.
making.
That's
Like
why
that's why this quiz works so
Yeah, I was
well.
gonna say why this
Mhm.
fucking game works. Better human beings, upward evolution, theme, that is our way, the only way, to find the answers to the questions that even our greatest philosophers and thinkers have been unable to answer so far.
Nazi.
Probably Nazi.
I'm gonna go with Nazi, yeah.
I'm thinking
No,
so.
Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
Nazi.
gonna guess that. Yeah.
Trump
Yep.
has opened the door to nationalism in this country. Not American nationalism, but the white race. Once that door is fully swung open, you can't close it.
See,
I'm gonna
that's a
say
that
Bob
one.
because
sounds like a-
Richard Spencer would like not be critical of that.
Well, it's
Wait,
not. Was it
didn't
only
Richard
Richard Spencer?
Spencer-
No, he's not.
No,
being,
no.
quote, isn't critical of it. It's literally just stating that it's that it's happened.
Well, didn't Richard Spencer say that he regretted voting for Trump?
Yeah, but this could be before that.
I'm going with MovieBob.
He was like, "Wait, everyone was saying he was a white supremacist. What? This isn't anything like what I voted for.
Why are there still black people here?
How come the blacks are doing better than ever? This is wrong. Betray Trump."
What are you guys voting for?
I'm gonna go with
Ooh.
Bob because this sounds a bit more on the critical end. I would guess that this is a critical post.
Going with Nazi.
I'll go with the Matt.
Yeah, I think this
I
would
think
be.
Bob-
It's more likely this is critical from Bob than triumphant from Spencer.
I don't think Nazis believe that Trump is a Nazi.
Oh, of course not, because they'd be like, "Wait, what? No, he's not. We're Nazi."
That's our theme.
Like, no, that does. He's not anything like us.
I don't
That's
think I've
Nazi.
ever seen Trump do the OK hand sign.
Oh, that's true. Oh my gosh,
It would be funny if he did though.
I've seen Obama doing it though. He's a white supremacist.
Oh my.
Fuck, Obama's a white supremacist.
Yeah, he did the OK sign. It's. I mean, if that's
Aw,
not proof, I don't know what is.
Socialism as the final concept of duty, the ethical duty of work, not just for oneself, but also for one's fellow man's sake. And above all, the principle, common good before own good, a struggle against all partisanism. And we are
Nazi.
aware that in the fight we can rely on no one but our own people.
I say Nazi.
Nazi.
I'm gonna go with Nazi, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Nazi.
It is thus necessary that the individual should finally come to realize that his opinion is of no importance in comparison with the existence of the nation.
He said his, not there. It's Nazi, not Bob. Bob would say there. Bob thinks that women matter.
Okay.
I'm willing to go with Nazi on this one anyway, because...
Okay, yeah, I agree.
Every time a fellow white person asks me if I'd want to be a minority in my country, I tell them I'm already a minority in this country. That's probably Nazi.
Nazi.
Bob.
That's Nazi.
Bob wouldn't call himself a minority.
Yeah.
No, because he
think-
would see himself as like super big brained and smart, and so he'd consider that a minority.
No, I think he would. I think he would see it as like devaluing the struggle of self.
Actually, I'm kind of
Great
tempted by
male.
Rag's argument there. Like, the premise is that some Nazi walks up to MovieBob, and they're like, I don't want to be a minority, and then MovieBob responds, you're already one, like I am too. We're already a minority. Idiot. That sort of
But
thing.
why would he say we are?
Well,
He wouldn't say we are. He would
I
think
think
that from
Nazi.
Bob's perspective, Bob probably isn't even thinking about race or anything here. He's so focused on his intellect that all that stuff just doesn't even enter into the equation for him when he says something like this. This is all about Bob and his big galaxy brain. And he truly does believe that people like him, dare I say it, the Ubermensch, they are the minority.
okay,
I
so
think
what's
this is
everyone's
Bob.
votes?
I kind of
I'm
see
thinking
that,
this
but
is
I still think Nazi. I could see Bob saying it though.
that's the joke of this whole thing. Wait, so what was everyone's that's bullshit, Mel?
What are we now? Are we on 30?
Every time a fellow
I'm
white
going-
person asks me if I want to be a minority in my own country, I tell them I am already a minority in this country.
I'll just say
Yeah, okay.
Nazi.
Going Bob.
Nazi Bob, which is it's me then.
Nazi Bob.
Good old Nazi Bob.
Who said Nazi Bob?
It can literally
Bob or-
go either way. So
Oh,
we've had a lot of Bob answers recently, so I'm gonna leave it as Nazi. That's how I decided.
Good.
Themes, often film executives or financial moguls, sexually use and abuse women by the thousands, decade after decade, and almost always get away with it. Nobody gets
Bob.
punished, nobody goes to jail. Every now and then, someone gets exposed publicly for what they are, but it all blows over with the practice continues unabated. That's only half of this quote. Do you reckon it's Bob, or do you
Well,
reckon...
I think that's Bob
I
talking
think that's a
about Me Too
Nazi.
stuff. Really?
Yeah.
That's a
You think
Nazi
that's
talking
Nazi?
about like immigrants or something.
No, I think this is Bob talking about the Me Too stuff.
yeah, same.
I actually think that
Both
Jay might
work.
be right. It might be a Nazi talking about Jews.
Because that's what I was thinking.
No, I think it's a Nazi talking about Muslim immigrants.
Well, no, because they're referencing film executives, financial moguls and
but
Harvey
that's
Weinstein.
Weinstein in the later sentence. So.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
maybe.
interrupted me to say what I was saying.
I think he's
Oh,
only got
sorry.
the Jewish last name as a coincidence. I think this is definitely Bob weighing in on Me Too.
I think it's a
Yeah.
trick question, and this just coincidentally has been said by both.
I
All right.
vote Nazi. What's everyone voting for?
Really? I thought
Going
this
with
is, I think
Bob.
this is clearly Bob.
I think Nazi.
It's got to be Bob going on about Me Too.
I'd
Bob.
say Nazi.
Hey, Nazi
Really?
win.
Wow.
I'm almost certain that themes in that one is Jews. I could be wrong though. Almost
Was it-
certain.
I'm
Uh,
almost certain that themes is Jews.
Wow. All right.
History will eventually remember Theme as a hero, however imperfect, who was failed by the country they tried to save.
Nazi.
Nazi.
Sounds Nazi.
Say that
Nazi.
one more time.
History will remember Theme as a hero, however imperfect, who was failed by the country they tried to save.
Is this Bob talking about Hillary?
Was Bob talking about Hitler?
Bob talking about Hitler.
Actually, it
Well,
could
here's the
be.
thing. I think this is Bob talking about Hillary.
I think it's a Nazi talking about Hitler, but that could easily be the sneaky thing.
But
there.
how did Nazi Germany fail Hitler?
Fucking, I don't know. Ask the person who
I mean,
made this
it's talking
quote.
Because Hillary was
Downfall.
failed by the country she tried to save because they didn't vote for her.
Didn't Germany? I'm pretty sure isn't all that big on Hitler anymore. So I think still.
Oh no, we love him.
Oh shit, I was wrong.
His name is so hallowed, you're not even allowed for fear of offending his spirit.
Hmm.
Exactly.
I think this is definitely. This
Where's
is Bob
Hitler's dead
talking
body?
about how
And
Nixon failed
where's
Hillary
Hitler's
Clinton after
body?
the
What
election
happened to it? I'm
It's in
curious
space.
now.
It's in my pocket.
He
What's
had it
it doing
shrunken
there?
down.
Just keeping it warm. I don't know.
You just hear like,
How
But
late?
So you
Put it,
can
in,
help
put it in your bum.
Lass mich raus! No, shut up.
So wait, so what's everyone voting for then?
I say Bob.
I forgot what I did. Nazi, I think it was.
I forgot what the
Yeah,
quote was.
I had voted Nazi, but
I think I
man,
voted Nazi.
some pretty sound arguments for Bob.
Yeah, I think you can make a good argument for Bob. I'm gonna go with Nazi though, and just
I think
play
it's
it
much
safe.
more likely that Bob would be upset at the country for not voting for her than a Nazi would say that Germany failed Hitler by losing the war when they fought so incredibly hard.
Yeah, and for that reason, I'm gonna have to go with Bob.
Oh, so is that 2-3
Because
for?
Well, it sounds like 2-3.
I've never heard it said that the Germans didn't fight hard enough to defend Germany.
I don't know, man. I think to become full-on Nazi, you probably have to have a few screws loose in the first place.
I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'd be crazy to be a Nazi.
Hey, screws loose can mean a lot of things, but
No, I mean that. I mean that. What, you think every Nazi's a crazy person, or do you think they have reasons for why they justify what?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
they
but
needed was
their
a hat
reasons
and
are so
smell, and they'd
crazy
be
that they
okay.
are like they have to be so like unless they've been like just told that that's the way things are and they've never been exposed to anything else. I think you have to be pretty crazy to be a Nazi.
No,
Well,
I don't think it's about.
I don't
think it's
really
about
think so.
insanity. No,
If
Well,
they
it
were
depends how we're defining
insane,
crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't
we-
say that you could. I wouldn't say that about socialists or communists or Nazis. Like I don't think that about religious people. I
yeah,
don't think that about Scientologists.
Yeah, okay,
or
no, to
anything.
be a Nazi in the modern day, not a Nazi. A
To
Nazi
me in the modern day, less so,
modern
but I
Germany?
still would. I'm
A
not
Nazi in
going
Nazi
to chalk
Germany,
it up to.
like,
So
when
do you
that's
really feel that
popular.
way about Scientology?
Yeah, I do.
yeah, kind of.
It's this. It's not the world. Nah, yeah. Scientology is the world's fakest religion. Don't worry, Shad.
Don't worry,
I would
Shad.
say, yeah. Nowadays, I'd say, I guess more so, but I'm hesitant, especially nowadays, to chalk people's beliefs up to, oh, you're crazy.
Yeah,
I think it leads us down a bad. I don't think it's good when we just dismiss people as being crazy because people feel and believe the things they do for a reason.
yeah,
If anything,
that just
When
When
gets
they're
pity for
Nazis,
it?
though, I don't feel like it does too much harm.
no,
Also,
I think that
I'm not actually
well,
referring to a medical illness. I'm just saying the way that they critically analyze the situation is probably flawed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's certainly flawed. Yeah, I think they're wrong. Absolutely.
yeah.
But I'm not going to say that they're necessarily acting in a way that they don't believe it's irrational. That's the thing.
But no
Yeah.
one ever believes they're irrational.
Well, sure,
Like, that's...
but I don't think that. Yeah, but it's not because they're crazy or anything. They don't think the ceiling tiles are trying to eat them.
I think we're probably just going on different definitions. You have to have a very distorted understanding of reality.
Probably, but I think that's.
So
I think
that
gonna
would
be
if
informed
we
from
go by
something.
that definition, if I say that's what I mean when I say crazy, would you agree?
No, because I think before we found out that we lived in a heliocentric universe, it would make everyone crazy.
So, well, I'm not saying that Nazis would have been crazy in Germany.
I don't think that's a fair comparison,
Just
right?
not
Because with the
thinking about
information
it.
everybody had at the time, that's not a fair comparison to what
As in, like,
like
you
a
don't have to be crazy to believe
Scientologist
the
will have to deal with.
majority
I
You just
don't
have
think
to
that
be
if you're a
sheep.
Nazi today, you're crazy, like
No,
an insane
yes,
person.
I think you are crazy if you're a Nazi today.
I don't think so. I think that
Unless
you could
you've been
reason people
heavily
out of being.
indoctrinated.
Yeah, potentially. You can certainly be indoctrinated. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
if
but
you've been
that
heavily
then would
indoctrinated,
that even
like,
make you
could-
crazy?
And
I don't
you're
think being
essentially-
indoctrinated
you're either
makes
a
you
sheep or you're
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
You're one of the two.
I mean, I think are flat earthers crazy?
Yes.
Because I'm not ready to say that they're crazy.
Yes, I think they're crazy. I think they're insane.
No, I think that a
I
lot
think
of
you
them
should just drop the word crazy because it clearly could mean a lot of things at the same time.
Yeah, I think they're certainly just like Nazis are fucking wrong.
Like someone
Yeah.
who says
A lot of them have like they
Joker
really
had no reason
have
to be punched by
reasons for
Thomas
why they
Wayne is
believe.
crazy, and simultaneously says the Nazi ideology is crazy. It'd be like two very different levels of crazy. It depends on what you mean by crazy.
Yeah, I'll say Hitler was he got pretty loopy.
Hitler was pretty
Pretty loopy.
guy.
Yeah, he was pretty loopy.
Man, he had a fucking screw loose, eh?
Here's a goofy dude.
He was goofy.
That's
Yeah,
yeah. You know,
you can be
you
wrong
can have
and
100
you can
screws and have one loose. It's okay.
I mean, you can have terrible beliefs and horrible beliefs and be totally wrong about things, but that doesn't mean that you're not applying some level of rationality, even if it's not complete and total. You could be operating from a different value system. You could be informed by a different history. You could identify with certain things differently in other ways. But but I wouldn't say this about anybody just because you have a political position.
I think it's, I don't know, maybe I'm only speaking for myself here, but I feel like maybe Jay would go a little bit further.
I know it's a political position, but I don't think, I'm not going to say people are crazy because of a political position that they hold. I think it goes deeper than that.
It counts as a political position. It's like,
I know, I just said that does.
Wait, I thought you said it does. Wait, you said it does or it doesn't?
It does. Yes, Nazi is definitely a political position.
Maybe it was. I don't see it as that.
I'm going to say I'm not going to call people crazy because they have a political position.
But when it's
I'm much more interested in finding out why they think that, and hopefully, if it's bad,
I mean, I totally would, but I wouldn't put as much on it. Like, so if they were like, "You think I'm mentally handicapped?" I'd be like, "Okay, look, no, I was just saying that I think that's crazy." Like, I use the word very softly.
Colloquial, casual. Sure, if that's how we're using it, like it's crazy. It's crazy. People think the Earth is flat, but I don't think that these people are necessarily crazy. I'm sure some of them might be.
Like what you're saying is you don't necessarily think they have mental.
Like if I actually was convinced that they were mentally impaired,
that would be one of the last things I would assume is that they have mental issues.
Well, no, I would assume. It's not the last thing I would assume, but like. It's something I immediately think.
Yeah, I suppose I could think of they were abducted by aliens and their mind was like, sure, but
if someone was a Nazi, I would be more inclined to believe they had I wouldn't assume it immediately. No, like, based on clinical mental issues, no,
I don't know. It's not even something I would really
requirement.
Think of. It's like when I would be diagnosing a communist or a Nazi or a Scientologist or a flat earther or something like that. I wouldn't even be like, well, are they insane in the brain? It just wouldn't even occur to me, I guess.
Yeah, do we need to give them, how many pills do we need to give him to make him cool again?
Like I would arrive at that maybe eventually after I go through everything based on how they responded to questions and things of that nature. Like if a flat earther said something, like if they brought in to question so in just really far out conspiracies and space aliens and interdimensional stuff, then yeah, I might be like, yeah, you might be a little, you might be not all there, but I certainly wouldn't be nearly the first thing I'd consider.
Well, I think we're in agreement based on like if we remove the word crazy from the equation and just go by definition, someone who is a Nazi does not necessarily have a clinical disorder, like a diagnosable problem with their brain, right? We're in agreement about that. But
yeah, like there's nothing wrong with their brain in sort of like a mental way.
They are colloquially speaking crazy in the sense that
that fight scene in the movie was crazy, and wow, this cheesecake was crazy delicious, and
that's not the same meaning, but like they're both adjectives. Never mind, but
yeah.
You ever see The Crazies, Jay?
They're not right. They're not right.
I agree. They're not right.
Correct.
But it's all like
they're not. There's something not right about them. Like
I was like, sure.
In the same way that I would say that someone who, if we want to say if there's something not right about them in the sense that I think they're incorrect on political positions, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I would extend that to technically everyone who holds a position that I don't have by technicality, sure. Because I think that all my positions are correct, which is why I have them. But that's
Nazis to a more extreme degree than
If I was convinced they'd come to their conclusions because of a mental impairment, I probably wouldn't be like, wow, they're crazy. I'd be like, oh shit, they might actually have like a problem. Like that's probably how I would actually approach that.
Yeah, right. I'm definitely in the camp that you destroy your enemy if you turn them into a friend. And I think that the last thing we need to do is make people outcasts.
Well, yeah, but there's a line like we're not the people to be befriending Nazis. There's degrees of separation.
No, just so we just abandon them.
Be nice to them, but be nice to them and treat them like human beings to try and help fix them. But,
I see a Nazi as a victim,
tolerate their beliefs
in a way. Like I think that they've been, for some reason, convinced of a terrible position, and I think that their lives and our lives would be better the less of them existed. So I think, in a way, it's kind of, in a sense, it is kind of our duty to help them. Don't you?
Well, yeah, I agree with that. To help them out of that view. But
and I think it's just pragmatic that you don't want to be overly combative with anybody to change.
Yeah, because that doesn't change hearts and minds. Just screaming in their face.
But so
If
I feel
anything,
like,
it's only
I
gonna
feel
make
like what
it
I'm doing
worse.
isn't helping those who have already fallen. I think it's helping other people not to fall, essentially.
Well, you can do that before they kill. If they have the Nazi ideology and before they go through with anything, you can convince them, carefully rather than scream in their
I'm
face.
much
and
less
just make 'em-
inclined to believe that random people will become Nazis, especially nowadays, than I am thinking that I could certainly change a Nazi's opinion. Especially when I get emails from people that tell me that I've de-radicalized them in a certain way or helped change their way of thinking and
Mhm.
things of that nature.
Yeah, it can happen. You just don't want to freaking dehumanize them constantly, and then that just doesn't
I don't think
help
saying
anyone.
someone's being like someone is crazy is dehumanizing them.
Right. But just, saying, oh, they just have irrational thoughts constantly and they just need a couple pills and
Well,
they'll
yeah,
stop believing the
it
way
is
they
an
do.
irra-
It's like,
I'm
that's
not saying I
not
should have
really.
pills. I'm saying I should have like pills. I'm saying they have a rational.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that. Yeah, I think that you can. I think
They're
that
they're
for-
okay. Let's go with this. They're irrational.
I believe they're behaving irrationally.
Yay, we got there.
I say behaving. They're thinking irrationally. I don't know if their behavior is technically.
Well, if
Yeah,
they're
I
expressing
would-
that
I
they're a
would
Nazi, then they're
certainly thinking
behaving
irrational.
irrationally.
Anyway, MovieBob's not a very good person. Shall we continue?
Well, it all
So,
started
yeah.
because I was. It was like, wouldn't it be irrational to assume that Germany didn't do everything they could to support Hitler in the fight?
Right.
And
Someone says it's the same rags that makes videos that just said it's not conducive to be overly combative. Well, I'm not. I'm really doing it more for an audience than a single person, because a single person makes the video, but hundreds of thousands of people see the video. So that's an aspect of it, but I think that it's time for us to
That's
continue with the
utilitarian,
quiz.
And with that, we're sticking with Bob.
also, it's not like I still think that someone could conclude that Germany didn't do, like, some irrational person could consider the Germany to have failed Hitler in that they weren't 100% on board, because there was plenty of people in Germany who worked against
there
him.
were lots of people who weren't Nazis.
No, I mean actual Nazis who worked against him.
Well, like, would they be Nazis if they worked against him and his goals? Or
Well,
maybe they were like, they're Nazis, but
I suppose
they,
I was calling them
they-
Nazis as a classification of just their label at that point, not like what they actually believe specifically. But the point I'm trying to make is that you've got someone could believe that those very people are the reason that he fell, or the World War II didn't work out for him. There's got to be somebody out there.
I think it was actually a Arch actually was talking about a book. I was in a stream with Arts and Sargon and Dev and Uzaloo the other day, and someone had asked in a super chat if they recommended any like World War II books, and Arch had mentioned one about like older. I might be remembering this inexactly, but he said something along the lines of older people as things got more and more dire for Germany. More and more people who weren't proper young soldier men were recruited to help, defend Germany, and a lot of them were just old dudes who were too old to really buy into all the Nazi stuff. They were just Germans and they wanted to defend Germany, and it's a story about them and how they, mixed and melted with a more younger type of person who might be more ideological about it. But it's certainly complicated.
As you referenced that, someone in all caps said, "Read a book, for fuck's sake." It's like timing was perfect.
Someone said it was Dev. Hey, Dev, thank you very much. I couldn't quite remember.
But yeah, basically, I'm certain that either could say it. The
Book title
likelihood,
is Ordinary Men, I've just been told on Discord. Thank you for that sign up.
the likelihood of it being MovieBob over a Nazi, I think I would agree at this point is more likely to be Bob.
Yeah,
But,
I'm sticking with Bob.
If it's not long, could you say it again? Because I've forgotten what it is.
History will eventually remember Theme as a hero, however imperfect, who was failed by the country they tried to save.
Yeah, I think that's Bob talking about Hillary after the 2016 election because they didn't vote for her.
Yeah.
think Bob has ever had sex?
I suppose, yeah. Would a Nazi
Oh,
refer
goodness,
to...
no.
Why'd you make me think about
Why
that?
did you come to my basement apartment and put
I'm
these blue
genuinely,
overalls on?
I'm genuinely like curiously trying to think about it. Like, would he
No.
have?
No, why?
I think
like-
that Bob would almost look down at it as a base biological distraction.
By the way, thanks for the reminder of the book. I have that book. Ordinary
Like he
Man.
certainly masturbates to like himself, but
Mhm.
I don't think he's
In the
had
green
sex.
screen.
I think when he climaxes, he screams, "Take my seed," even if he's just
No.
masturbating.
No,
he
stop.
comes green all over his wall.
No.
That was never paint.
Oof Oof said this segment was a bad idea. What's the point? Look, MovieBob's rhetoric is similar to that of racists. It's like, yes, that was the point.
Yeah.
That was the point.
Yeah.
It's been...
So yeah, I'm gonna go with Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair choice. Jay, you stick with Nazis?
Yeah, I'll stick with the Nazis.
Okay.
And metal?
I don't even remember.
Well, three of
what I
us already
said.
with Bob, so
Okay, well, assuming that wait, if that was true, then the
We
Nazis would
three
have it
Bobs
anyway.
already, so it doesn't
we have
matter.
3 Bobs. Yeah.
Sorry, the Bobs would have it. Yeah.
Gut feeling, right?
It was interesting. Some people have just been referencing different events, including Operation Valkyrie, which it was super interesting to learn about what all that was and how it all went down.
Also, I have the book Ordinary Man. I have it in my hand right now. I totally forgot I have it.
You have
Now
what?
that you mentioned it. The book Rex just mentioned, Ordinary
Oh.
Man.
Yes.
I have that in my hand right now.
Oh my goodness.
I never read it. I bought it like years ago, but I always forgot about it. So I just
Oh,
put
well.
it on my desk now, so I actually read a book again in years.
I will never forgive Theme for this. A superior global future was in sight, and they threw it away.
Bob.
Sounds like
That's
Bob.
Bob.
I'd go with Bob.
That's the 2016 elections
Nazis
again.
wouldn't refer to themselves as they.
Oh, that was something else I was going to say, by the way, was that Theme, however imperfect, was failed by the country it tried to save. I was just thinking, would a Nazi refer to Hitler as imperfect?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that as well.
And referring to Hillary as imperfect, I think is the fucking
Maybe after
the
the
lowest
fact
you
in
can
their
go
memoirs.
before you. Yeah. Oh wait, I didn't switch the answer. That's my bad.
It'd be funny if we get a really low score at the
Yeah,
It's like
holy
Bob,
shit.
and I know, like a chat. I think this is an easy Bob.
Well, the
Yeah,
funny
I
thing
gotta
about
Find out at the end.
the funny thing about whatever happens, if we score low, that means that we. Well, it could mean a lot of things,
I
actually.
guess the worse we do, the
more
worse for
tragic
Bob?
this whole thing becomes.
I think it's tragic no matter what, because we would have attributed Bob to Nazis and Nazis to Bob. And if we were
What
right
if
on
we do the
everything,
funnier
that's not good either. It's just all bad for Bob.
Like it
Mhm.
looks bad, but the wronger we are, the funnier it is.
I suppose,
Can't
yes.
tell.
Yeah.
And that is really the only possible response to that question, because this film doesn't even bother to attempt to provide any form of plausible deniability. That is shameless celebration of violence by white men against a society that has abandoned them. Joker is a love letter to mass shooters.
Bob.
That loses Bob.
I would guess Bob, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I'm having trouble
I don't
thinking
think-
about how it could be anything else.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what neo-Nazis.
The
or
fact that
white
makes me think it's a
supremacists-
bait and switch, and it's
That's
I don't know.
true.
I don't know what the problem. I'm trying to think. Going through Joker, if I'm looking at from an alt-right perspective, what would they have against it?
black women.
He kissed a black rabbit
Joker hates black women.
If I like,
because they
I don't
don't
think
laugh
that-
at his jokes.
let's see.
Miscegenation. I know that word now because of no
Miscegenation.
bullshit.
Yeah, I think that's a Bob one.
That's Bob.
The nation I
Too
love and
obvious,
thought
isn't it,
was
Bob,
heading
though?
in the right direction is failing, and I can only blame the ignorance of my fellow countrymen.
I don't think Bob would say countryman.
Yeah, I was going to say countryman doesn't sound like a Bob word.
That's a Nazi.
I don't think Bob identifies with like. I don't think Bob would ever say my fellow countrymen. I think he'd say
Yeah.
idiot,
He's
stupid.
like these idiots
pieces
who
of shit.
occupy the same nation as me.
He would
They
say
breathe
idiot,
the
human-
same air. This piece of
People I
Exactly.
have to
Wait,
put
wait,
up
I'm
with
sorry.
on the
I'm
daily.
sorry. I'm sorry. We're saying it's probably a Nazi because he talks about people as if they're human.
Yeah, I feel like a Nazi would be nicer.
No, yeah.
Than Bob.
certainly more camaraderie amongst Nazis than Bob, I would say.
There is
Yeah.
a lot of among
Everyone is
camaraderie
below
between
Bob, and
Well,
he
yeah,
will
because at
tell you
least with
about it every
Nazis,
time.
there's
Bob.
like this a definite in-group, but with Bob, he goes it alone in such a clear way so often.
thinks
When
he
he
has an
hoists
in-group of
himself
the
up on this
left.
pedestal.
He thinks the left is in group, but they hate him. Like
It's
the
tragic,
group
really,
he thinks
in a
is
way.
his hates him.
The fact that no one wants to hear is... Wait. The fact that no one wants to hear is this. Not everyone... I'm sorry. Maybe I'm
Bob,
getting really
grammar.
old. I'm gonna copy and send you it while I... The fact that no one...
that no one wants to hear this. Oh, the fact that no one wants to hear is this. Not everyone gets to win. Even if you yourself aren't a theme, theme is a superior way forward into a better future for a better world.
Bob.
I'm going Nazi.
Going
Even
Nazi.
if what could theme be?
That's a good point.
Aryan?
Even if not everyone
Eugenics.
gets to win, even if you yourself
Even if you
aren't
yourself
a
aren't
like everyone
a-
would be like, not everyone gets to win, even if you yourself aren't a Nazi, German, a
then eugenics is a superior.
Aryan.
Oh yeah, then eugenics is a superior way forward for a better future and a better world.
Yeah,
See,
because those two themes could be different words.
Yeah, those
See,
they could be.
Yeah, I think okay.
Bob
so,
possibly conceding that he can't win at something is just
no, he's not conceding that he can't win. It's saying that other people don't get to win. The person who's saying this is saying that other people don't get to win because they are the best. I think.
not everyone gets to win, even if you yourself aren't a loser.
Even like they're saying, even if you yourself aren't the in group, our group's ideology is the best way forward. So you're just going to get put to the sidelines if you're something else. That's the quote.
I think this is trying. I think this could be also Bob speaking towards people who don't see themselves as losers, but saying that even if you don't see yourself like that, that doesn't mean you win. That doesn't mean you've won. That doesn't mean you're in a good position.
I'm gonna go with
Even if
Nazi.
you don't think of yourself as a loser. But this one's
I'm gonna
tough.
go with Nazi.
Yeah.
I think it's I think the word is like even if you yourself.
I
is
might.
the way forward for a
Yeah,
better
this one's
future.
tough.
going Nazi on this.
I'll go
But
Nazi.
to be fair,
with
I
this
don't think
one.
I don't think a Nazi would appeal to someone who isn't an Aryan. Like
The
they wouldn't-
Nazis have it. I'm gonna just
Although
make sure
Bob wouldn't try to
we're
appeal
moving
to
forward.
Republican either.
Jay, we're
So
like a
No,
third of the way through
could
this.
be- No, this
Oh my
could be
God.
Nazis appealing to Germans who aren't part of the Nazi party,
Mhm.
saying that you might not feel like a loser, but you don't
all right,
get.
let's just go with
win.
Nazi then.
So
Uh,
I think this could be. I think this could go both ways.
Fuck,
I
dude,
think
this
this
quiz
is
is so
probably
much
the
better than I
closest
thought it would
so
be.
far, but I'm gonna go with Nazi.
Yeah,
I've always
Nazi.
felt in some way apart from theme, but never so much as right now. How can I share DNA with these monsters? Oh my
Bob.
god. I want to go with Bob, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was like after the election.
Mhm.
Every
He's
of
talking
the
about,
worst
like-
ones we assume is after the election. It's like,
He's
yep.
just so talking about just like Homo sapiens. Like I'm the same species as these Republicans, these
It's okay.
moderates, these
It's okay,
liberal.
Bob. We have to be the same species as you. As we don't like.
It's a shame that we leave the abilities of the nation at the mercy of citizens who act with these abilities lightly and as if they were playing a game.
I'm gonna go with
Nazi.
Nazi.
Too eloquent.
Yeah, I'll happily go with Nazi. Freedom of
Yeah,
expression
that
is
works.
nice, but it becomes a factor of corruption, and corruption, if not excised within the limits set by the interest of the nation.
Nazi. Bob doesn't
gonna
care
go
about
with
the interests
Nazi
of the
as
nation.
well.
He cares about. Am I cutting out of there?
A little
A
bit,
little
yeah.
bit.
No, Bob doesn't care about the interests of the nation. He would never talk about the nation. That's Nazi speak.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I think Bob views the nation as almost like oh, I have to be. It's like I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
the way the world is. I just unfortunately have to be in this nation with these people around me.
Yeah.
Nazi then.
Nazi it is. Theme are not motivated by the desire to defend a scientific idea or to spread this idea, but by the bigotry of opinion, idea, or belief.
Bob.
Ooh. No, this is really
Mm.
eloquent though.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nazi on this one.
But would Nazi say bigotry?
Maybe a modern
Um,
Nazi.
Bob.
Yeah. That's what
I'm gonna
because
go
that's what I'm
Bob on
thinking.
this
We
one.
have to keep remembering there are still like
Yeah,
What's
I
his
think
face?
they're probably
Richard
a
Spencer.
modern Nazi then.
So wait, so what's everyone's votes?
I'm gonna go with
Nazi.
Bob.
Nazi. Wait, what was yours, Mel?
Bob. Was drinking.
Okay, Nazi Bob,
Got me
Bob,
right while I was drinking something.
and what was yours, Jay?
Nazi.
Oh fuck. Okay. What would be the decided to defend a scientific idea? I'm gonna go with Nazi. I don't know. I don't know if Bob would put it this way. I feel like it should be more clunky if it's Bob.
Yeah.
Theme were given a choice to evolve and become a superior theme or stagnate and remain inferior. The majority chose wrong. Oh my god.
Bob.
Going with Bob.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
I can't
Also,
believe
give me
this
a
is what I
second,
mean.
gotta
Like,
drink.
this is the part of it that's shocking. It's just like, I guess that was Bob, but I can't believe that Bob said that. It's like, whoa. But it all makes
What a
sense.
rotten soul.
I hope Bob finds out that this has happened.
Mhm. In those days, I was stupid enough to try and enlighten Theme about the meaninglessness of their beliefs, though I could show them the danger of Theme, but I was getting the opposite result.
Nazi.
I don't know. I'll post it for you guys.
In those days, I was stupid enough to try. No, Bob would never acknowledge that he had a.
Nazi. I said Nazi.
I think I'm gonna go with Nazi as well. What was
I think Nazi, but it's close. It's just I think it's the grammar that's giving it away. It is.
Sometimes
It's
I
like-
mean, yeah, we've gone off grammar and punctuation a lot.
No, I'm actually just
And
going
just
with my
the
gut.
fucking and the fucking venomous words that he uses.
I'm here.
gut reaction, Rags. In those days, I was stupid enough to try and enlighten Theme about the meaninglessness of their beliefs, though I thought I could show them the danger of Theme, but I was getting the opposite result.
In fact, I could absolutely see what because Nazis aren't based on other people's beliefs. I mean, no, actually, it could be a neo-Nazi talking about like liberal.
Well, and does Bob really strike you as somebody who will talk to someone and try to
No,
convince
he's talking in the
anyone?
past.
No,
This is
but
past tense.
Yeah,
I
maybe
used
he
to
used to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I
I'd
was
buy
like,
that though.
think that people could be reasoned with, essentially.
I could absolutely see Bob.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially going. These people can't be reasoned with. They need genocide the Republicans. Like
Yeah, that seems very much. Yeah, like
But-
this is the guy who would absolutely Thanos snap half the country away.
No, he
Um,
said that, didn't he?
I'm gonna go with Bob on this one.
But I could see it being a Nazi as well. I could totally be a Nazi.
Oh, now I don't know.
Fuck.
Just based on the grammar, it's the Nazi though.
I can show them the
I
I
danger
don't
of
know.
Theme.
nicely
I think
worded.
Bob has his moments of,
Yeah, but
grammatically.
Statistically,
He's
not most of the stuff he says is an incoherent math. So
so is this
Do you
the
think
same
he was
guy
like-
that did that EFAP quiz of
I
the EFAP
I can't
law
remember
quiz?
if that was the same guy. I don't think that was the same guy, as far as I remember. But it could be.
it's Adam Hilt.
I thought I could show them the danger of Theme could be the danger of Trump. As in MovieBob saying that, right? Possible?
Nah,
Possible?
Bob was too far gone by the time Trump was.
Yeah.
But
he
surely
already
he
came
would
into
surely
the
he would
Trump
still
era.
sell himself as being like a savior. Or like tried to help
Oh,
them.
so we're saying this is like a lie.
Possibly. It's MovieBob.
think
Bob
lies?
How do you imagine he tried to argue?
I think
like,
Actually, yeah. Thinking that this is a lie makes it seem a lot more plausible. Bob said it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I used to be stupid enough to think these people could be turned, but
okay, fine.
That's why I don't convince nobody no more. It's because they're all
Well,
stupid.
yeah,
I
it's like he's-
tried.
Because Bob likes to try and justify the things that he does by often being in a very malicious and unfeeling way.
Bob sees himself as a Mary Sue. My flaw was that I was too good.
He tried. Damn it, he tried.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bob on this.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Yeah.
go with Bob.
All right, I've changed my mind. It's Bob.
Although the
Um,
wording does make me think Nazi, but sure, Bob.
Maybe.
I'm not for the correct action to be overridden in favor of the will of the stupid, just because they happen to occupy more space. That's Bob.
That's Bob.
Bob.
As for democracy, I believe in results and long-term vision. Systems, not so much. In this regard, I'm closer to a technocrat.
Technocrat. I
Bob.
have to Google that.
I,
Going
don't
with
think,
Bob.
I haven't seen him use that word, but I could believe he said this.
I have to Google what it means. Hang on.
Yeah, I think that I think that super forward-thinking
Oh.
future Bob would definitely talk about technocracy.
Yeah, I think that's Bob.
All right.
I think technocrat is one of the 3 words that Bob knows.
Hey, let's leave massively important geopolitical decisions with potential global impact up to a public vote, said no one smart. This is a really bad
that's
idea.
Bob.
Your fellow theme failed you. I know the feeling. Yeah, okay. I guess.
Yeah, Bob often
Going with
talks
Bob.
It really fits in with-
about how terrible the voter base is and how stupid they are. He laments he has to abide by their decisions.
Theme cannot be won over, saved, or reasoned with. They need to be defeated along with their values and political power.
Nazi.
Yeah, Nazi.
You don't think that could be Bob?
It could be, but
I think Bob
that,
would say eliminated.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but I think that this is a Nazi.
Eliminated.
Because this could easily, like, we've been thinking about all of these. We've been thinking all like the nuances of speech in terms of what they might say nowadays. But that could probably be an old quote, and our mindset has been changed as of lately.
I'm still gonna go with Nazi on this one.
Yeah, Nazi.
Yeah, I think the Nazis have it. Most people don't know what is best for them, and in taking actions under the
Bob.
assumption that they do, often mess things up for us. Yeah, I think that's Bob.
Oh yeah, I think
It's
so.
it's too eloquently worded though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's eloquent, but it's not
What
fancy.
if,
or
Jay, what if
anything.
it turns out all the ones you've been saying are like too eloquent, turn out to be written by him? How are you gonna feel?
I mean, it's eloquent in a sense.
well,
It's a
then
simple
sounds-
sentence.
Well then, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What I'm waiting for is for this test to turn up all Bob, and we were all duped.
They're all Bob.
The trick is that it was all
Oh
Bob.
my god. they could do that.
Sometimes I am dumbfounded. I don't know what amazed me more, the abundance of their verbiage or the artful way in which they dressed up their falsehoods. I hate them.
Nazi.
Nazi.
I'm going
Yeah.
with Nazi.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Nazi on this. Yeah.
Okay, Nazi. Yep.
Because Bob would never refer to his enemies as eloquent or, all that.
Yeah. No, everybody's stupider than Bob.
Yeah, Bob would never pay them that kind of a backhanded compliment.
Wait. The superior future of the United States is technological and theme. Until then, a lot of noise. Bob, I guess?
I don't think Bob is hopeful.
I'm gonna
about
say
it.
Bob because that whole technocrat thing.
Yeah, it fits his technocrat profile. It doesn't fit his. I don't think he thinks that it's actually going to happen. I think he thinks that like everyone is stupid and sabotaging it for him.
Yeah, he fancies himself like he envisions
Actually,
himself
no,
in the
it's
same
Bob.
way that a lot of modern day revolutionaries envision things where they're going to be at the top, they're going to be card carrying party members, they're not going to be the ones working in fields. They fancy themselves in these privileged positions, and I think Bob especially really does think that. He thinks
I
that
think this one's Bob.
yeah, I think he's going to be one of the technocratic elites.
Yep. So Bob.
So long as there are employees who attack social understanding and have wrong ideas of justice and fair play, it is not only the right but also the duty of their employee to protect their general interests against the greed and unreasonableness of the individual.
I'm going to go with Nazi.
Nazi.
Yeah, I'll go Nazi. Yes, I condemn democracy as it currently exists in the country, which is, quite anachronistically, still called by the name United States of America. I think that's Bob.
Bab. Using those big stupid ass words.
Here's a nice picture to mark the halfway point. The following picture includes major spoilers for Hell. View at your own risk. Yes.
What?
I want to see it.
Spoil hell for me, Dad.
Oh my, that is not a flattering photo. I don't know if it's actually him or not. I just, oof.
Just oof. Okay.
Wait,
We gotta see
let's
it.
see it. I
Within
can't see
my
it yet.
lifetime, one of these theme are going to make their own country, institute basically socialism to streamline the economy and act like they invented something totally new.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
Wait, do you think the
Bob
quote is
like.
or the picture is?
The picture is.
What do we think, everyone?
Thinking Bob.
I don't know.
Going to make their own country.
This is what a feminist looks like. Poor feminists.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might have to just defer to the group decision on this one.
I say Nazi.
Yeah.
Is Bob openly for socialism?
Probably. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that the idea of that would appeal to him much. I think he'd be like, I think he's more of a, he wouldn't phrase it this way, but he's more of a technocrat.
This doesn't quite feel like something he'd say to me, but I'm not a Bob historian, so.
Yeah, I mean, as much as Bob takes too much of a shit on the blue collar people of the world to give, he doesn't give me socialist vibes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right,
to be a socialist, you have to believe in the good of the people, I think, and Bob doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bob is definitely not a
definitely not.
not that.
So, we good with Nazi?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Theme
Yeah,
and theme represent two distinctly divergent, irreconcilable.
You can't read it. it's not Bob.
Irreconcilable.
Oh yeah, irreconcilable paths of societal development, and they are in conflict. One will defeat the other, and there will be either a future for their theme, or there will not. Very dramatic.
Nazi.
I did not see that
definitely
coming.
I could see
don't
Bob
know.
saying it, but I think I'm edging toward the Nazi.
One more time, please.
Theme and theme represent two distinctly different, divergent, irreconcilable paths of societal development, and they are in conflict. One will defeat the other, and there will either be a future for theme, or there will not.
Going with Bob.
Which what's everyone's take?
Nazi.
I'll go with Nazi.
I think I'm going with the Nazi as well.
Okay.
I could see Bob doing it, but Hell yes, America should confiscate the wealth of millionaire traitors. We're not going to allow it to be used to erode the rights of our fellow Americans anymore.
Ooh,
That's
that's
Bob.
hard. I think it's Bob, but it's a close one because it's so
Wait a
well
minute.
worded.
He said fellow
Nazi.
Americans.
I don't know,
Bob.
yeah.
Mm,
I don't know. I think I'd go with Nazi on that one.
Nazi.
Me too.
yeah, Nazi.
I'm gonna go with the Nazi.
People like this are the base level source of the soul sickness that holds our whole society back from becoming the better world that the intelligent and worthwhile theme deserve. Bob?
Bob.
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 It'll be great when this is over and I can go back to despising backwards human filth threatening our future without hearing their bullshit regurgitated by themes or the media telling me I should feel sorry for them. Bob?
Bob.
Bob.
That's
Bob.
so hard though. Dude.
That's Bob as fuck, dude.
Human
Come on.
filth. We assume it's Bob immediately.
Yeah, dude. He hates it. He hates everyone but himself.
Yeah, but like Nazis hate Jews. That's like their thing.
I understand that, but like human filth.
But it's Bob, Jay.
It's such a Bob thing to say.
I don't
He
think Bob
is-
would call them human.
The logic here is astounding. Like,
Oh my god! I thought we
To
were
be
in agreement on
called-
this one.
to be called human filth is a level above what Bob would say. I
Still going with Bob on
Yeah,
this
the Bobs have it with that one. Each of us must decide just how far we will let the situation in America deteriorate into backwardness and theme before we decide to take action to correct it. I urge you to become involved for your children's sake, if not your own.
Nazi.
I'm gonna go with the Nazi, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Nazi.
All right.
Sure.
Some of the most
because Bob doesn't seem interested in the next generation.
some of the most dishonest
that's a
people.
great show.
Some
Probably
of them-
cares a lot about that, the next generation.
Yeah.
Some of the most dishonest people can be identified by the use of the phrase, war never solved anything. Of course it does. If they were honest, they would say, theme never solves problems.
Nazi.
Nazi.
Going with Nazi.
I think Nazi,
Yeah.
yeah. Marriage
I think
must...
Bob believes in war.
How dare you? Can you imagine Bob serving?
You imagine Bob serving in like a war?
Soldier Bob.
As covered.
Soldier Bob.
Marriage must
Ration.
indeed be refounded on a much more radical level than that imagined by the egalitarian religious right and constitutionalists.
Nazi?
I think that's
that was-
Bob.
I think that's
But
Bob.
that's
So
Valid.
weird, convoluted.
Like,
I'll
I
go
hated reading that.
That was such a salad. What the fuck was
Bob. Yeah, I
that?
felt
Yeah,
like I
actually,
was reading
Bob
a Bob tweet, so I'll
persuaded
go with
me.
Bob.
Yeah, gonna go with Bob.
The only reason to fear theme is if you are a weak and or worthless person who can only hope to hold social power by theme. A truly superior individual would not resist an evolving world.
I'm trying to
That's Nazi?
desperately figure out what theme
Couldn't that
might
be-
be.
Couldn't that be Bob? Because...
Go,
I guess it
you're
could
going with
be.
Nazi.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I don't know. I think I'll just kind of
I'll go
go with
Nazi.
whatever anyone else decides. That I can see that one going both ways really easily.
Yeah, I kind of want to stay on the fence as well, so it'll be between the remaining three.
Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, sorry Jay, it's a Nazi. The US is only going to stagnate until people get on board with the idea that theme, as a mindset, place, and demographic, needs to be aggressively beaten, constrained, and neglected to the point of erasure by any means available. We must do this
Sounds
if our
pretty-
people are going to progress at all. Oh my god.
That sounds pretty Bobby.
I mean, I think that might actually just cross over the line that Bob wouldn't say that, but like he wouldn't optics-wise.
Say it one more time.
The US is only going to stagnate until people get on board with the idea that theme, as a mindset, place, and demographic, needs to be aggressively beaten, constrained, and negated to the point of erasure by any means available. We must do this if our people are going to progress at all.
That's
Our people. Shit.
I feel like the our
yeah. Bob wouldn't say our
Ah.
people. Bob wouldn't say our people.
Nazi it is.
Damn it. It's Nazi.
Yeah, I feel like it's more on the collectivity side.
Be funny if we're wrong on that. I don't think that anyone is less than human, just less
Not
than
Nazi.
me.
Bob.
Don't.
Oh, wait, actually, no. Actually, that could be Bob.
Is
Not
that a
less
Hitler
than
quote?
me.
Is that a
It's
Hitler
definitely
quote?
Bob.
That's only half of the quote. You guys are outraged.
That's totally Bob. Then.
The other half is don't get upset. Well, it says don't give upset, but I think it's supposed to be don't get upset about it. Tons of people are beneath me.
Bob.
I'm on the fence.
Did he really like tweet that?
No.
Holy shit!
When he said, "I don't think any people are below human," I'm like, obviously Bob believes some people are below humans. So I think that's fair. And
Yeah.
No, this is
Um,
him trying to like save face in a way. He's like, no, they're human. They're
Not
just definitely
Bob.
beneath me.
they're not human. They're human.
Hmm.
They're just shit humans.
Yeah.
I can believe it's Bob, but holy fuck. Maybe he would say that one's a joke. He's apparently said some of his tweets are definitely jokes. I'm always like, which one?
Mhm, yeah. He's like, oh, that's news to me.
At a
I think
certain
it's Bob.
at a certain
What
point,
part of the tweet that's a joke when he says,
at a certain point, you have to become comfortable with the idea that huge swaths of people are so theme that they barely qualify as human. Bob.
"Bob."
Bob.
It's Bob.
Anytime
Could be
someone's
They
not allowed to be
barely
human.
Qualify as human.
I want to say Nazi.
Yeah, like Nazis, I think, treat some people as inhuman. Like, I think that's something they might.
No.
I think they would
Never heard
straight
of
up
it.
say some people are subhuman. Bob is just like, oh no, they're barely. Don't worry, I said barely human, guys.
They qualify in that they can
Actually,
speak
yeah, that makes
English.
me think about
So
it.
then
Bob
we'll
would say
speak a
barely
language.
human. Nazis would say
Yeah.
subhuman.
Yeah, because
Bob would say
trying,
barely
like,
human.
shockingly, Bob knows that he can't get banned from Twitter, or that would really hurt. So he's trying to not get banned from Twitter.
You're trying to like squeeze in a technicality or something.
Something like that.
All theme are all theme are unsalvageable. Failed humans. Reject them and push them out.
Bob.
Nazi.
Nazi.
Theme could be Jews.
No, but like, I don't think Nazis see Jews as failures. I think I don't think Nazis think that Jews had an opportunity to fail. I think they just think they're like they're shit anyway.
Yeah, I'm
So
still
I
going
think
with
Bob
Nazis.
sees like you don't have to like fail to be a Jew from a Nazi's perspective. You just are a Jew.
Yeah, I would say Bob on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Bob.
I think I would settle on Bob if I had to choose, but I'm also okay with being on the fence on this one.
Nazi.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with being on the fence on most of them. That's the point of the quiz.
Wait, so if we've got Nazi, Bob, and fence, I guess I would have to pick Bob because I said I'm slightly more toward Bob than I am toward Nazis.
Go for it.
Very well. Normal people are trash. No one that ever mattered was normal. Exceptional elite people build and drive the world and get called theme for their trouble. Bob?
Bob.
Pretty Bob.
Imagine
I don't think Bob would use the word elite. I think Bob sees the elite as a bad thing.
Well, the elite are bad as long as the elite isn't me.
Yeah, but Bob thinks that I don't think Bob thinks that he is the elite. I think Bob thinks he's
You
like
don't think
amazing and
so?
perfect.
I don't know,
think he uses
man.
the word elite. I think he uses the word elite to describe like the people in power who are evil.
Well, yeah, it depends on what kind of word they're using that for, because elite is often referred to the people who are like the most powerful on Earth, but he could be referring to
that's
just
why I
the
think that's
best
Bob.
people.
No, that's why I think
Right.
that's not Bob.
What does everyone else think?
Bob.
I'm gonna go with Bob.
Gonna go with Bob.
You fools.
I was going to go with Bob as well. I'm sorry, Jay.
The whole
Imagine-
chat is still just Bob.
Oh, just Bob.
They have the answers to the quiz already.
They could have got that right out, so yeah, you never know who's actually got the answers or not. Imagine how annoying the people harassing me would be if I could bring myself to think of them as humans.
Bob.
I'm thinking Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
Twitter harassment,
Could be
obviously.
a Nazi though, that's the thing.
If theme
yawning.
prevails as the driving force of the 21st century, you can kiss everything from space travel to disease cures goodbye. That's Bob. Space
Mhm.
travels, yeah.
It's Bib.
I'm yawning. Time for another drink.
It is necessary for human evolution that the individual should work with the spirit of sacrifice in favor of the common good. We should not be influenced by the terrible opinions of those idiots who pretend to know better than theme.
Bob.
Gonna say Bob.
Could be a Nazi.
That could be a Nazi, yeah. We've had a
I think
lot of
it's getting
Bobs
too hard.
recently.
It's getting
Like,
too hard.
it can't all be Bob, surely.
Like it's getting indistinguishable.
The individual should
Like
work with the
many of these.
Guys, can we get something in the chat other than Bob?
I'm gonna-
I'd like to see that right now.
I'm gonna go with Nazi for this one.
I want a Bob counter for
Bob
the chat.
counter.
That would be so high. It's got to be implemented after the stream as well, because if it was during the stream, then people would just say Bob on purpose.
Mhm.
Oh, Longshanks reckons it's a Nazi. What are you guys, everyone voting for?
So Bob.
I don't know.
You know, spirit of sacrifice in favor of the common good. I feel like that's not something Bob would
Nazi.
say.
Yeah.
Whoa, common good. That's Nazi. Sorry, I didn't get that part.
Alright, yeah, I guess Nazis have it. Is it okay to dehumanize people because they are theme? Did we forget this at some point?
Bob.
Did they not
Oh,
have
Nazi.
theme when growing up? Oh, it is
Gonna say
okay to
Bob
dehumanize.
might be talking about women.
I think it's Bob, yeah, and he could be talking about all kinds of things.
I don't think a Nazi would use the word dehumanize.
I feel like a Bob would
Right.
dehumanize somebody for like cutting in line.
Right.
You fucking troglodyte. Stop treating these theme like people. Theme are not redeemable and not worth redeeming in the first place. They are the justly forgotten remnants of an inferior world that we've evolved beyond and escaped. That's gotta be Bob, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There are only two possibilities for theme. People won't choose the party of compromises forever. There can be no compromise. There are only two possibilities, either victory for us or annihilation of the future and the victory for them. Theme,
I heard
sorry.
us. That's Bob. That's not Bob. Sorry.
I think that's a Nazi, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this one's Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. There can be no unprovoked violence against a theme. The sole aim and focus of their philosophical existence is violence. If you take up that
Well-
identity, you've already declared violent intent. Anything done in response is just varying levels of self-defense.
That would be Bob.
Bob.
I don't think Nazis believe that like Jews are inherently violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I guess it could
I
be,
think
it could be
that...
about Muslims.
Hmm.
Still going with Bob.
What do you reckon, Rags?
Hmm. I'm gonna go with Nazi on this one.
I see it being Nazi. I'm either way.
Varying level. I could see it as being both. I'm gonna leave it with Bob. I have a feeling he's referring to Republicans and maybe healthcare.
Fuck, dude, this is actually what it feels like to take an exam.
Yeah, I know, right? all of our homework was watching MovieBob videos.
Oh, I see why he didn't prepare.
Morals are made up by an adult old. They're made up by adult old men who think they can talk to clouds and value is subjective. We should prefer knowledge, wisdom, and wisdom too.
Yeah, the Nazis wouldn't say talking to clouds. That's a Bob one.
Bob would. It's because he said old
Nazis were
men.
religious.
Bob demonizes old men.
But
he does.
He's gonna get up there eventually.
Nazis wouldn't specify men though.
I joined the theme party because I'm a revolutionary, not because of any ideological nonsense.
Nazi?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nazi.
Money stinks of capitalist democracy. Money has made slaves of us. Money is the curse of mankind. It destroys everything great and good. Every dollar is sticky with sweat and blood.
Nazi.
I'm gonna say Nazi.
Yeah.
Did you know that Nazis are socialists?
Yeah.
All right.
But the thing too, he just seemed like he cared about a collective, which once again Bob would never do.
Lenin is the greatest man, second only to Hitler, and that the difference between communism and Hitler's ideology is very small.
Nazi.
That's Nazi.
I mean, I was gonna say maybe this one wasn't. This one's supposed to have themes, maybe.
Someone just. Someone in the chat just said Bobbert Frick.
Bobbert Frick. Oh Jesus! Somebody get. Well, we got to see it in memes now.
We need to redefine the concept of democracy so that people of intelligence and reason can step in when theme make a bad decision.
That's Bob.
I would guess Bob on that one. Yeah. Conspiracy theories are absurd and childish, but they demonstrate that the entire concept of democracy is stupid, because the great masses of people will believe any sort of total gibberish if it makes them feel good.
Gonna say Bob on that one.
Yeah.
I would go with Bob myself, yeah.
Oh, it could be a Nazi, though.
Well, that's the point of this whole thing.
Of course. One or the other here, of course it could. Thanks, J-Man.
Fortunately, demographics are squeezing these people out of having a say. It's just not happening fast enough. If we don't do something, they will mess it up for us before they can be removed and rendered irrelevant. I would say this, but he's got people in quotation marks. It's got to be Bob.
Right.
Oh, that's absolutely Bob. That's all that meant being Bob for me.
Cyberpunk 2077 appears to be a full Nazi game. These are the same people who did the Witcher series, which was based on Polish mythology and basically a Nazi game.
What? I don't even know where to put that in general.
I guess that's Bob.
Oh, that could be anything.
That could be
Nazis are like, yay, it's a Nazi game.
Exactly. That could have been a disparaging term or an encouraging one. So
I think it's Bob.
I'm gonna abstain. I have no fucking clue.
I just say Nazi just because.
Okay, I'm gonna say Nazi.
We got two Nazis, one Bob.
There wasn't enough discussed in there for the Nazi mentions.
I don't know. That could be an inflection thing.
Chat, as a change of events, seems to believe it's Bob.
Oh, what, really?
Look, a minute or two ago, they were decided one is a Nazi.
I'm going with Nazi. I'm sticking with Nazi on this one.
It does seem odd. Like, if I saw him tweet that, I would be confused for a while, but that kind of is the experience of looking at Bob's tweets all the time.
Yeah, that makes it more likely to be him.
A full Nazi game. These are the same people who did the Witcher series, which is based... I guess I think Bob. Who are Bob?
I think it was 2-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is Bob.
I think it's because you know how like you're less understanding of an ideology. I think Nazis would understand Nazism well enough to know that Cyberpunk 2077 isn't a Nazi game.
Yeah.
The other thing I worry about is whether or not Richard Spencer's trolling in this one. It's just to make people upset.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out some of these, I guess. I'm being
Yeah.
as calm and decent as I can under the circumstances, but I'm as close to my last straw as I can get with trying to see redeemability in the worst of humanity. Bob?
That's probably Bob.
Election night, maybe?
That's Bob.
Bob on election night.
The rehabilitation of terrible people is a nice thought, but it's grounded in concepts of empathy that are often misplaced, and the increasingly outdated prospect that broken bad eggs can be reconfigured to perform some social...
Bob.
Societal. Socially. That's
socially useful. I know, I
more or
fucked it
less.
up. I've
Concerned about sociality, and there was not a period
sociality.
for a while.
See?
Which, you know,
There's loads
whichever
of words you could invent when you look at that one, I swear.
Exactly.
I might be very tired, but I'm fine. I can totally...
It's
You
only
can't have my
2 a.m.
keys. Wait, so what do we vote for this one? Bob?
Oh yeah, going with
Bob.
Bob on that one.
I guess everyone said Bob, yeah.
I found that a closed fist to... Oh, sorry. Wait. Oh, it is that. I found that a closed fist to be a solid place to start. It's a bit clunky. But there is
That's
plenty of
Bob.
variety beyond that. At the end of the day, there are just bones and meat, and sufficiently cowed mosts will stifle
this is a
before
Bob
you have
one.
to break any of that. God.
Yeah, it sounds
I
pretty
think this is
Bobby.
a Bob one.
I could be a Nazi.
I feel Nazi on this one.
I'm thinking
I think
This
Nazi.
is Bob.
I swear I
Because the
saw this
grammar
on
is
Twitter at
broken.
some
If it
point.
was a Bob tweet, they would have fixed the grammar.
Bob fixed something? That would
No,
imply you made a
there's-
mistake.
no.
The author of this quiz said they'd... But, yeah, well, it's
Oh,
fine.
the author of the quiz. Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
so
fair enough.
how many people go in Bob again? It was 3. Was it 2?
I said
So I'm
Nazi.
going Bob.
Nazi.
No, oh, I'm Nazi as well, so that's 3 Nazis.
Really? Okay.
There are
Democracy-
3 Nazis on EFAP.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
Democracy
I go
is a
Bob on that
failed
one.
system because the masses are not capable of making informed decisions about... I already want to say Bob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Bob. Socialism isn't the problem. It has a problem, namely that its primary proponents are theme.
Socialism has a problem.
And its primary proponents are... surely... Oh, I don't know.
Well, they're both. I don't know if Bob is a socialist. Nazis are socialists, apparently.
Mhm, right.
I don't think neo-Nazis are.
Of course.
And it seems to me that they, like, Nazis wouldn't really bring up the weaknesses of socialism.
Unless they were trying to make it into a particular group of people with a
Bob?
problem. Right?
Maybe.
I'm fully just coin flip on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going with Bob on this one.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I said Nazi.
I was going to go with Nazi myself.
I fucking hate Nazis, man.
Rags, Jay, you both abstaining?
Yeah.
Rags' silence tells me everything I need to know.
I just don't know.
It's thinking.
Is it the duty of properly evolved humans to prove that we are not theme or the worthless trash people who support them?
Bob.
Bob.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We though.
No, Bob. I think Bob has used the word we.
Okay, hang on. Say that one more time. It kind of got a little jumbled.
It is the duty of properly evolved humans to prove that we are not theme or the worthless trash people who support them.
Do you feel like could be a Nazi?
I think that's Bob.
I feel like worthless trash
Oh.
people is a more modern. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there are
I gotta go
neo-Nazis.
with Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
All right. The argument could be made that the theme vision of progress, rooted so heavily in romantic idealization, the pre-mechanization / pre-digital working class, is itself somewhat dated and hardly revolutionary anymore. I'm not really married to this idea. My revolution is my own.
I think it's Nazi.
I think I'm more toward Nazi than I am to Bob on this one.
Kind of have to agree there.
Yeah.
We'll stick with Bob. I mean Nazi. Sorry, we'll stick with Nazi. It's like was that a Freudian slip? And you're like, of course it was. Like, what else would it be? At some point, it has to become all right to admit that there are too many human beings at this point. People think that it is wrong to propose a solution to this problem, but this every life is sacred belief is bullshit. Oh,
Nazi.
I thought it was a
Oh,
Nazi.
Bob.
I was going to say, I thought it was a
I don't
Nazi
think
right
Bob-
up until he Thanosed at the end, and I was like, oh no.
I think Bob is too smart to actually talk about
That's-
killing people as viable.
But he said he would with the Thanos glove.
Yeah,
but I think
I don't
we
think
should
I don't
take
think
issue with Thanos, I
less
think.
people is a Nazi thing, especially if it's their people.
Yeah,
But the
Nazis
thing with
wanted
Bob, though, is-
converted people.
The thing with Bob, though, is he wants less people for sure, but specific ones. He wants to get rid of, you know. So I think this is applicable to him.
Let me check the chat. Yeah, it's Bob.
The main thing that the right has in common with the left is the appeal to losing end of progress. Real progress, societal evolution to a better future, offers those worth it ascendance. I think that's supposed to be those with it. Offers those with it ascendance beyond obsolete tradition. Those who don't measure up retreat into bitter envy.
I don't even know what that means.
I think
that's
Nazi.
Bob.
Oh, I was thinking Nazi.
Nazi. I think that's Nazi.
Rags, that's bullshit.
Gonna
Yeah,
go. Fuck.
Gonna go fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby.
Let me in. I'm trying to fuck.
That's a reference to Thingaman, DJ Man, isn't it?
Okay, I'm sorry to keep making you
Yes.
do this. One more time, please.
Wow, can you just pull the stream up at this point? We'll take that as a no?
Yeah.
That's a no.
That is the newest one. I was just, my only thing going with that is just that, there's just no big sort of giveaway that it's a Bob to me.
Nazi.
I mean, he could say it, but I think a Nazi said it.
Someone in the chat just added me. You're like, hey, some of these are my quotes. Copy strike.
All right, I'm gonna go with Nazi on this one.
Yeah, sure.
The Nazis have it.
Just
The
one of them is gonna
future-
be, leave me be.
The future belongs to those with the imagination and will to think and act on a planetary scale. The dialectic isn't nationalism versus globalism. Obviously, the nationalists will lose, and it won't be close. The question is what kind of globalist will determine the future of life on this planet. The battle has
Bob.
always been theme versus theme.
Bob.
I think
Gonna go
Bob,
with-
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I assume in Bob's universe, where everybody's uploading their consciousness to creepy robots or whatever on Mars, he would assume that it's a global faction of Earth at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the future, ideally, Earth is much more united under whatever he believes that the perfect ideal humanity is.
United under Bob.
In Bob we trust, right? I'm not a communist precisely because it's proven untenable, but it's a morally and intellectually sound philosophy on paper.
Okay. That would be Bob. I don't think
That's
a Nazi would
it's
ever
pretty
speak
Bob.
well of communism.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, how would it work
Mhm.
with a Nazi saying that, I guess? But Bob, sure. I could totally
Yeah.
see him say that.
Sure.
At some point, we need to stop treating stupid as functionally different from evil. Oh my god.
That's
I
Bob.
think this is Bob, yeah.
It's funny that... it's so funny that he's got that as a quote, when that was kind of our conversation earlier, but in a slightly different way, right? Like, crazy versus, versus, like, whether or not it's well-reasoned or mentally ill. He's got... someone being unintelligent enough to not recognize maybe X, Y, and Z is no different than evil. It's like, whoa. Fucking kids. They're all evil. Fucking kill 'em. Benefit of the doubt, Bob. Jeez.
Fucking
Christ.
kids. Ew.
This is the world you get when a plurality of your population is not only ignorant and culturally unevolved, but proud to
Sounded
be
exactly
so.
like a zombie pigman.
The irony is that the troglodytes voting for and supporting the theme won't be saved by them. I feel like that's Bob.
That's Bob.
I've seen him use
Oh,
troglodyte
that's
before.
troglodytes again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Overpopulation / too many stupid people is not eugenics. Eugenics is a terrible solution to overpopulation.
Bob.
Bob.
Too many stupid people. I would 100% believe that he thinks he's like the top echelon of intelligence.
It really does.
Few things are genuinely better for your ego than realizing those aligned against your irrelevant themes. I've learned to process this as proof of the validity of my beliefs.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Nazi.
I'm gonna say Nazi.
I'm gonna say Bob. I'm gonna go against the waves on this one. I have a feeling it's
Ooh.
Bob.
Yeah, it's only one wave.
Yeah. Boberto, I think.
Jay with the oh my god, the Bobs have it. Only 5 left. There is no meaningful far left, far right conflict in the US. What happened at Berkeley is a gang of theme attacking innocents whom recognize as their betters.
Nazi.
Vegan.
That's Nazi.
I sympathize with the desire to be bent by empathy for the theme. I had the same weakness once. Understanding that their inability to be fixed was a failure of theirs and not mine was one of the most freeing experiences of my life. Bob?
Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but 3, so it's Bob.
At the end of the day, the theme era is a solid reminder that institutions are only worthwhile until they aren't. Then you throw them out and replace them with superior ones. The better Americans deserve a better America.
Bob.
That's
I don't know. That could be a Nazi.
That could go either way
That's-
for me.
yeah, that
think
could be a
that's a
Nazi
Nazi.
because again, I don't think Bob has any interest in bettering anything.
Oh no, he
He just wants the things removed until like it's just
Yeah, he wants.
No, he thinks he's going to make a better world.
Okay, it's Nazi.
Well, I think it's Nazi. Yeah.
What's everyone else think?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with Nazi on that.
I think it was Bob. He would say the better people deserve a better world, not a better America. Not sure.
Fair enough.
yeah.
All this cheating and skullduggery to protect a failed, inferior version of America that's never been worth keeping on life support and won't be missed by anyone who matters when it's replaced. So much wasted energy.
I think
Babbity.
Nazi.
Bob about the DNC, maybe?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, I don't know, maybe. But I think that's Bob. I'm not interested in parties. I'm interested in forward and backward. Evolution versus stagnation. Progress to the better future versus regression to the inferior past. Only 2 sides to any of that.
Nazi.
Nazi.
I
Quite
thought Bob.
But it's
Really?
quite eloquent though.
Yeah. Because he talks a lot about like what is moving forward and progressing versus the people who
Does he?
hold us back.
Yeah, I think holding back. Yeah, holding back's more of a Bob thing.
So wait, do we get 3 Nazis and 2 Bobs, or?
Yes.
That sounds. So we got 3 Nazis and 2 Bobs. Sounds like an order somewhere.
That is the main reason why this kind of political activity is abhorrent to people of character and courage, while at the same time it attracts inferior people. For a people who is not willing to accept responsibility for his own actions, but is always seeking to blame someone else, if a leader comes from that lower class of politicians, the consequences will become obvious when they mess it up for the rest of us.
I think that's Nazi.
I feel like
Nazi.
that's a really good one to end
Mess
on
it up
because
for the rest of us.
yeah, there's
sounds
lots
like
of
a Bob
Bobisms
thing.
in there,
Yeah.
but it also feels very Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
They all feel pretty Nazi.
By that you mean they all feel pretty Bobish? Is that what you're trying to
Yeah,
say?
pretty Bobby.
Should we? I don't know. I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
I'll say
Nazi.
Nazi.
Yeah.
What did you say, Jay?
I said Nazi.
The Nazis already have it.
The Nazis have won.
Thanks for taking
Damn
this epic quiz. If you have any suggestions, have any notes you think can work in the quiz, or notice any problems, let me know. Thank you, Adam Hilt, I suppose. I congratulate you on finishing this nightmare. You can see the percentages for your questions by clicking the previous responses after submitting your quiz.
Alright. This is the even more exciting
What
part.
score did we get?
We got 360 out of 500.
There were
Ooh.
500.
Well, it's 5
No,
points per
that's
question.
points.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't do super well then.
So now I want to see where we
did
got 'em wrong.
okay.
Yeah, I want to see which ones were wrong.
Okay, well, I'll scan to the ones that were wrong, I suppose. Oh my god, we got loads right in the beginning. Holy fuck. Okay.
Yeah, like well, that's the thing. It's like it had a good difficulty
No,
curve
the
to
e-
it.
the
It was
easiest
easy in the
ones were at the
start, and
beginning.
then they got really hard later.
People who have no understanding of the political world around them have no right to criticize or complain about our superior future. That was from a Nazi, not Robert. We thought it was
I
Robert.
would have said Nazi on that one.
History likes to forget that theme often grow to assault true progress when the backward and mediocre feel left out.
What did we guess? That we
guessed Nazi on that one.
And that was Bob.
That was Bob.
Hmm.
Don't tell me to buy inferior products or hire less capable qualified. Oh my god, we were wrong on the one where hired qualified workers because we said that can't be Bob.
Oh, it was Bob?
That was Bob.
Ah.
I have to admit, I'm scrolling past the loads we got right. I love the idea that we got so many right. That's funny. Trump has opened the door to nationalism in this country. Not American nationalism, but the white race. Once that door's fully swung open, you can't close it. We guess Bob. It was a Nazi.
Oh my.
Every time a fellow white person asks me if I want to be a minority in my own country, I tell them I'm already a minority in our country. Oh, we were right about that being Bob. Well, I can't remember who voted what, but I remember us discussing about that being potentially Bob. So,
Fair.
but we went with Nazi.
Yeah.
The answer was Bob.
No, I said Bob on that one. That was me. I was the odd one out.
I could have sworn I remember saying that I could see him. I remember I was being corrected about the way Bob would do it. Like I said something like, yeah, he probably would say that, yeah, I think I said he would say, you know, we are the minority already, as to like a white person trying to make it sound like a bad thing. And then the counter was that he wouldn't see them as a grouping at all because he hates them. They're less than, they're less than him. But yeah, that was a good one because, you know, there's reason to assume. So the one about Joker being a love letter to a mass shooter, we guessed Bob. It was a Nazi.
Oh, okay.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The nation I love and thought was heading in the right direction is failing, and we can only blame the ignorance of my fellow countrymen. We guessed Nazi. The correct answer was Bob. I feel like I would have gone with Bob on that one.
Yeah,
I think it was Countryman that kind of threw us off.
Oh,
on that.
Countryman. Yeah, you're right. That really
yeah. So that was Bob?
did. That was Bob.
Oh.
Oh wait, there's feedback. Someone just said read the feedback. What is the feedback?
There's like little comments right below it.
Oh, I guess this where they're sourced from, the answers, I suppose.
Yeah.
This quote is from a review of the Joker on the Daily Stormer. Okay. The nation I love and thought... Oh wait, that's... MovieBob is scaring me. The fact that no one wants to hear this... Sorry, I read this wrong again, because the fact that no one wants to hear is... The fact that no one wants to hear is... Like, it's fucking... There's no punctuation that helps me here. Not everyone gets to win, even if you yourself aren't a theme. Theme is the superior way forward. We said that was a Nazi and it was Bob.
Oh.
I can believe that answer. Like, is it? I figured we were
I think
right.
it was one that we were kind of stuck on.
In those days, I was stupid enough to try and enlighten Theme about the meaninglessness of their beliefs. I thought I could show them the danger of Theme, but I was getting the opposite result. We thought Bob, it was a Nazi.
Huh.
The feedback is sounds too understanding to be MovieBob. It's very complicated, you know.
See,
Theme.
I swear I guessed Nazi on that one.
Theme cannot be won over, saved, or reasoned with. They need to be defeated along with their values and political power. We guessed Nazi, it was MovieBob. I think those ones are the funny ones when we guess a quote was from a Nazi because it's so like extreme whatever. It's like, no, it was Bob. Yes, I condemn democracy as it currently exists in the country, which is quite anachronistically still called by the name United States of America. We thought that was Bob, it was a Nazi. Reading, and the feedback says reading Nazi articles to find these quotes is really funny. They have so many Tismy quotes. Like, yeah. And yet some of them, you know, managed to sneak in with Bob. Within my lifetime, one of these Theme are going to make their own country, institute basically socialism to streamline the economy and act like they invented something totally new. We thought Nazis, it was Bob.
Damn.
And the feedback says moopishly.
Oh, well.
Officially.
Theme and Theme represent two distinctly divergent,
Irreconcilable?
Yeah, I keep tripping up on that word. Irreconcilable paths of societal development, and they are in conflict. One will defeat the other, and there will either be a future for theme, or there will not. We thought Nazi, it was Bob.
God damn it!
Resistance is futile. MovieBob is the future, and he is here now. Surrender now, he will outvote you with his massive weight that comprises his being. Yes, ma'am.
Epically.
Right. Some of the most dishonest people can be identified by the use of the phrase, war never solved anything. Of course it does. If they were honest, they would say theme never solves problems. We thought Nazi, it was Bob. Wow.
Holy shit.
The feedback says, okay, Robert.
Yeah, that one's surprise to me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Marriage must indeed be refounded on the much more radical level than that imagined by the egalitarian religious right and constitutionalists. We thought, Bob, it was a Nazi.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
EFAP needs more loud soup memes. Agreed. The only reason to fear theme is if you are a weak or worthless person who can only hope to hold social power by a theme. A truly superior individual will not resist an evolving world. We thought Nazi, the correct was MovieBob. I feel like I was on MovieBob's team for that one. Whenever evolving comes up and superior, I'm always like, oh, such a Bob thing.
That's also a pretty Nazi thing, though.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the point of this quiz. I'm just going to have to keep coming back to that. That's my final argument. It makes sense that we've gotten so many of these right and wrong. The US is only going to stagnate until people get on board with the idea that theme is a mindset place demographic needs to be aggressively beaten, constrained, and negated to the point of erasure by any means necessary. We thought Nazi, it was Bob. That's pretty amazing.
There you go.
Yeah. We got a whole bunch right there.
It would be good if we had the told us theme.
Oh, hang on, you're breaking up a bunch. Try again.
It would be cool if when we actually got the answers, it told us what theme actually was.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Oh, I guess so, yeah. Conspiracy theories are absurd and childish, but they demonstrate that the entire concept of democracy is stupid because the great masses of people will believe any sort of total gibberish if it makes them feel good. We thought MovieBob, it was a Nazi.
Oh no.
Okay.
Nope.
And the Cyberpunk 2020 being a Nazi game, we thought, Bob, it was a Nazi.
Oh, okay.
I knew it.
That
I
surprises me.
fucking knew it.
Even the feedback says, how the fuck is this a Nazi quote?
Wait, what was the quote?
Cyberpunk 2077 appears to be a full Nazi game. These are the same people who did the Witcher
Oh.
series, which is based on Polish mythology and basically a Nazi game. It's like...
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like there wasn't enough, like, oh, I am clearly not in favor of Nazis, like, work in that tweet or whatever that was to not to be MovieBob. It just wasn't enough.
I found that a closed fist... Oh, this is the one that's spelled... organized weird. I found that a closed fist to be a solid place to start, but there is plenty of variety beyond that. At the end of the day, they are just bones and meat, and sufficiently cowed will stifle before you have to break any of that. Wow, we thought Nazi and it was MovieBob.
And I thought it was Bob.
MovieBob will break...
Things that we thought it was a Nazi.
I swear that was in a tweet, so that's why I thought about that. Yeah.
MovieBob will break your bones if you stand in the way of his superior future. Wow, I can't believe he said this.
Please arrest this man.
Like Bob said, at the end of the day, they are just bones and meat, and sufficiently cowed, most will stifle before you have to break any of that. What the hell?
Fucking, like, seriously, doesn't this count as threats of violence? Can't you legally arrest someone for this?
He said you won't even need to because they'll break before that, like, mentally. It's like, oh my god.
What a bad person.
Yeah, I think we can conclude that. Democracy is a failed system because the masses are not capable of making informed decisions about the way governments function. They are extremely susceptible to the technologies of advertisement which are used by the media to shape opinions and issues. We thought Bob, it was a Nazi. I think that was reasonable to assume it was Bob. Socialism isn't the problem, it has a problem, namely that its primary proponents are theme. We thought Nazi, it was Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Comrade Bob is the greatest Marxist of our time.
Color me surprised.
The argument could be made that the theme vision of progress rooted so heavily in romantic idealization, the pre-mechanization, pre-digital working class is itself somewhat dated and hardly revolutionary anymore. That what we thought Nazi, it was Bob.
That was my first thought, because I thought I remember that tweet. I remember the tweet, but I was like, nah, it can't be.
Bob Will Page. The main thing that the right has in common with the left is that they appeal to losing end of progress. Real progress, societal evolution, and a better future offers those with it ascendance beyond obsolete tradition. Those who don't measure up retreat into bitter envy. We thought Nazi, it was Bob. That's my favorite result, when we think it's a Nazi and it's Bob.
It's like the most common as well.
The future belongs to those with the imagination and will to think and act on a planetary scale. The dialectic isn't nationalism versus socialism, so that one. We voted Bob, and it was a Nazi.
I guess a Nazi would think that it's not nationalism versus socialism.
There is no meaningful far-left, far-right conflict in the US. What happened at Berkeley is a gang of theme-attacking innocents whom they recognize as their betters. They're inheritors of a better post-theme American future. We thought Nazi, it was Bob.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the end of the day, the theme era is a solid reminder that institutions are only worthwhile until they aren't. Then you throw them out and replace them with superior ones. The better Americans deserve a better America. We thought Nazi, it was Bob.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that?
This is certainly not the Bob's Not That Bad Guys stream.
And the last one we got wrong. I'm not interested in parties, I'm interested in forward and backward. Evolution versus stagnation. Progress, the better future versus regression to inferior past. Only two sides to any of that. We thought Nazi, it was Bob. I'm pretty sure I thought that was Bob for a while. Just the whole backward-forward progression thing, like it just feels like a Bob thing.
Yeah.
That's been educational.
Ooh-wee.
Dude. What
All right,
the
Bob.
fuck?
So if anyone ever asks why we're so harsh to MovieBob, I'll be like, because we can't tell the difference between him and Nazis. It's fucking hard.
Legitimately, we can't.
So you're saying, yeah, we got like 30% incorrect on that?
Yeah, we did pretty well considering we're Bob people. We've seen a lot of Bob stuff, but 360 out of 500, which would be what's 360 divided by 5, I guess?
Wait a minute, isn't that like more than half?
36. So
Well,
we
it's
got
definitely more
36
than half.
out of 50 correct.
Yes.
That's 72%.
Oh yeah, that's a really obvious way to do it. High five. Yeah, we did pretty well then, right? That's like a passing grade.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, it is.
We didn't fail.
I didn't even study for that.
I know. I just love that
You
the
got a
top,
B.
right at the top of this is him and his stupid Mario cosplay. He's such a... He exists. I just want people to know this.
He exists.
Like, what a meme! He will lead us to Technotopia.
Hello, you just listened to a segment of the podcast Every Frame a Pause, or EFAP. Hosted by YouTubers Mauler, Rags, and Fringy, and joined by a cycling variety of guests across the internet, they critically analyze media with exhaustive detail while pausing at every single frame. Subscribe to the EFAP channel and catch new episodes on Saturdays, as well as catch their smaller videos reacting to the latest and not-so-greatest movies and TV shows throughout the week. You can also subscribe here to EFAP highlights for the latest shorts, clips, and supercuts, also uploaded throughout the week. Links to all the relevant channels can be found in the description section below, as well as links to their communities on Reddit and Discord. Thanks for watching.